Hey guys, how's it going? How are we doing? What's up? What's up? X, hello. Kaitang, hello. Rat, hello. Wither, hello. Ryan, hello. Who made me cry? The scary stories made me cry. They made me... I don't know, guys. I was reading something. Don't read this. Don't read. Wait. Don't read this yet. No. No. Not yet. Matte. Don't read it yet. Yeah, guys. Oh my, I was skimming. I kind of skimmed them to make sure they were like safe for stream. I hope. I'm gonna warn in advance that usually, like, you know, I bother my mods to check things for me, but this time I kind of am. I planned this out. Like I slipped through stories and I found ones that I thought were like generally good based on the titles. And also the trigger tags that were there. I tried to select stuff without any trigger tags, so hopefully this will be okay. But yeah, I'm excited. Some of these stories are scary. So for those of you who don't know, today we're going to be reading stories off of NoSleep. Does anybody know the subreddit NoSleep? Hold on, I'm stalling while I try to... Spotify, please, give me my stream beats. Not Into the Unknown. Okay. Oh, ambient. Ambient's a playlist. Oh, I didn't realize. Wait, hold on. I wanted my lo-fi playlist. Here it is. Here's the playlist. Okay. Can you even hear this? Not open. There we go. We have some nice background music, happy music to set the mood while I read. I need scary music. Do you guys have I need a scary music. The scariest story, Row Without Chocolate. Oh my gosh, no, stop. We don't want to talk about a world without chocolate. No, I refuse. Okay, so really quick. So NoSleep is a subreddit where a lot of people write their nightmares, their scary stories, and it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of really interesting, well, okay, that sounds really wrong. There's a lot of interesting nightmares in the world. No. It's fun. I think it's fun. For those who don't know, I spend way too much time on Reddit when I'm like commuting and stuff, other than when I'm like, sometimes when I commute, like I'm prepping content. Usually, actually, most of the time when I'm commuting and stuff, I prep content. But sometimes when I'm trying to get to sleep or something, I'll end up scrolling Reddit. So I know a lot about Reddit, strangely enough. Wait, does this give away too much about how hikikomori I am? Does this say too much about me? But I was like, you know what? I realized I don't really feature like Reddit stories on my stream, so I have a lot of Reddit ideas for stream. And the first one I wanted to try in celebration of Halloween is NoSleep. So we're gonna read some scary stories together, and it'll be fun. So we can theorize about what actually happened in the story. So I'll read them aloud. You know, I hope you'll stick around with me. If you're having this on in the background, leave it on in the background. Hear some scary stories while you do homework, or while you work, or while you do the dishes, or while you do your laundry. Because I know you guys all do your laundry. You better be doing your laundry. You know what's scariest? When you don't do your laundry. You just have a pile of dirty clothes. Okay. So I put them in order of like most popular. They're all really popular. I kind of sorted a bit, but let's start with this one. I hope these aren't ones you guys have already. Don't read it. I will read it out. Give it what? No, what did I just press? Give me a chance to read it out. Give me a chance to do laundry. Yes, folding 5 to 7 business days. I used to be that person that just dumps their laundry on their bed and then tries to, like, I dump it on my bed so that I do it, or else I can't sleep because it's on my bed. Yeah, I do that. Hello, I'm here for the reading club. I brought beer. Beer, yes, bring your own beer, bring your own snacks, bring your own, teddy bear. Bring your own little Row plushie that does not exist yet, but is, goods is something I'm working on. Sure, it's gonna be fine, Arks, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and start reading. Yeah. So is the music distracting? I wonder if it's done. I'll put it down really low. So it's not distracting. Okay. Did I prep water for this? I did prep water for this. Okay, I got my water. Throat not gonna Row merch. It's in. I wanna make Row merch. It's one of my goals for late, like end of this year, or early next year. Arks, bro, oh my gosh. 10 memberships, thank you so much. Oh, what do I say? Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What? Guys, wait, this is perfect. This is the good fortune that a nice viewer, Arx, has bestowed upon me in time for this particular title. In my town, getting good luck means you're gonna die. Thank you so much, Arx. That's super kind of you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy using oh my god, tier 2 memberships. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy the variety of tier 2 memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's read. I don't actually know what's gonna happen in the story, so speed. Okay. In my town, getting good luck means you're going to die. Not scary. Not scary at all. Okay. I stared down at the D20, tears welling in my eyes. 20, the fourth one I'd rolled. Ishan and Kayla stared at me. Their eyes were wide, filled with fear. I opened my mouth to say something, but I couldn't. Saying it would make it real, and I couldn't. It could just be a coincidence, Kayla cut in. Yeah, just last week I got 2 8s in a row, Ishan said with a nervous laugh. But we all knew what was really happening. I'd gotten lucky. And in this town, getting lucky means you're going to die. I don't know. Listen, I can't relate because I don't get lucky like this. Hisashi desu, Noja-san. こんにちは。今日は怖い話を読んでますね。そろそろハロウィンなんで。Grabs popcorn. What do we think so far, guys? Should I keep reading? I wonder what the D20 means. I wonder what this means. How about this? I'll read through the entire story. I might pause a little bit here and there, but I won't pause too much. And then at the end we'll discuss. So, yeah, easy. Move out of town. Problem solved. No, Ryan over here being realistic. Ro has no luck or game confirmed. Listen, Pharaoh, don't attack me like this. Means you're out of luck? Possibly. I wonder what it is. So let's see. Corey Eisenberg was a physics major who lived in an off-campus apartment about a block away from us. Last year, only weeks before graduating, he died in an accident. His death could have been plucked right out of a Final Destination movie. On a bright Monday morning in April, he took the elevator downstairs. Unbeknownst to him, a rat had chewed through the elevator cable that night. As soon as he stepped inside, it would snap. That's not what killed him, though. Not even close. He only lived on the second floor. The impact wasn't bad at all. In fact, he was able to press the help button, call the fire department, and calmly tell them that he needed rescue. They dispatched someone, and everything seemed like it would be fine. But apparently, on the way down, the cable whipped around inside the shaft and got wrapped around a pipe. When the firemen got there, a rather heavy-set one stepped on the top of the elevator. It rocked back and forth, pulling the cable taut. It started spraying water. Okay. But he'd made a hole. And the water pouring from the pipe, dislodged by the elevator cable chewed by the rat, began to leak into the elevator. Drip, drip, drip. The fireman tried to retrieve the axe, but it was stuck. One of the firewomen tried to pry the ceiling off the elevator, but it was sealed very, very well. In fact, the whole thing was sealed extremely well. So well, none of the water leaking in could leak out. Corey Eisenberg drowned to death inside an elevator. His death came at the end of an incredible stroke of good luck. I remember reading the headlines in the university newspaper. He'd won 10 grand playing the slots in Atlantic City. There were other things too, like the time he ran into a tech CEO at Starbucks and ended up getting a job offer. Never would have been there at the right time if his shower hadn't broken earlier that morning. But his good luck wasn't always so obvious. It started small, very small, like the balance in his checking account being 4.56, or breaking the wishbone of a chicken exactly in two, or the random number generator in a line of code popping out 3 100s in a row, or rolling a die and getting a natural 20 every time. Wait, hold on, how do you get a 20 on a die? Isn't a die up to 6? Wait, what am I not understanding? Guys, teach me. I'm so confused right now. Wait, how do you get 20 on a die? What's a natural 20? It's a die with 20 sides? There's a die with 20 sides? Wait, there's a die with 20 sides? I didn't even know that was possible. There can be dice with more than 6 sides, but I didn't know there was a 20-sided die. Damn, okay. Okay. I see. Huh. There's a lot of dies, in a lot of meanings. D20 is 20 rolled side. I see. Games like Dungeons and Dragons. Huh. Never played D&D. Shaking my head. There is. Dang, I did not know this. Okay. Let's keep reading. I stared at my reflection. My phone read 2 a.m. in big fat letters, but I couldn't sleep. Corey's death pounded through my mind. His look of terror as the water level rose, slamming his fists against the wall of the elevator, screaming for help that was right on the other side. But he didn't have a chance. Fate, luck, chance, whatever you call it, had already marked him to die. Is that what's gonna happen to me? Corey wasn't the only one. There were several bizarre deaths like this one, spanning across a few decades. In the 90s, Lyda Montgomery burned to death after tripping over a jack-o'-lantern. She tripled her wealth at the horse races a week before. In the zeros, Jen Liu was attacked by a rabid squirrel while on a hike with her family. She just inherited the entire family business after her brother had announced he'd be moving to England with his fiancée, whom he met in a chance meeting. But they might all just be tall tales. None of these details were public. They were passed down from townspeople, from generation to generation. Even with Corey, from news articles, I knew he'd died and that he'd won at the slots, but all the other stuff about wishbones and code was hearsay. Even the details of him drowning in the elevator weren't public. Sean told me that. I shook my head and turned the water on, splashed some water on my face. Just a ghost story, I thought, rubbing the water on my face. And I'm going to be 20 next month. Aren't I a little too old for ghost stories? I reached for the towel to dry my face. My arm whacked against my phone. It fell onto the towel with a sickening crack. Damn it, I shouted, diving for it. I snatched it off the floor, praying the screen wasn't cracked. My heart stopped. The screen was cracked, but it was cracked perfectly. One solid line in the glass running vertically from the bottom to the top. Not a single split or fracture. Cold sweat broke out of my arms. I set the phone down, my hands shaking. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I have months or years or days. I don't know if the legend in my town is just a tall tale, snowballing with each generation as it's told around smoldering campfires on cold autumn nights. But I don't like my chances. No! This is too scary. Okay. Not that scary. To me, it's scary. I don't like ghost stories, guys. Ghost stories ain't my thing, guys. I'm bad with the ghost stories, guys. Okay, so what do we think? Is this? I think this one is not as. Is it every lucky person dies every so? How often? How often do they die? Choco Chi, hi. Hey Art, how are you? This one's not that scary. What do we call this out of a 10? Score out of 10? Yeah, I'm asking. I think. To me, it's still a little scary, but not too scary. Maybe like a 5. Maybe a 5. Either that or I'm emotionally dead. I think it's 5. It's not scary. It's a little creepy. That's right, Kai. That's right. I think that's a good way of thinking about it. Wait, what do we rate? What do you guys rate this? What do you rate the story? What out of 10? It's more creepy? Creepy 5 out of 10? I think it's a creepy 6 out of 10. I think scary like 4 out of 10. It's a 4 out of 10 for me. Lauren says 4 out of 10. Not that scary. Not that scary. I think it's a little chilling. Rather a lack of resolution. What do you think the resolution should have been, Wither? How do you think it should have ended? I do think that the phone screen ending could have been a little different. I think that there could have been something a little more like unnerving. Like as an ending rather than a perfectly split phone screen. Bio, how are you? 5 out of 10. Ryan says 3 out of 10. Black Lotus 5 out of 10. Gamer, you say I think it's 4. It's okay, just a bit unnerving. I agree. 4 out of 10. Okay, I think 3 to 4. Jury is like, nah, I got this. Too easy. Lack of resolution. Okay, I see. I feel like there's too many flaws with this. A decent an idea as this is. I see. I do think that. I don't want to comment too much on someone else's story, but I do think that. I think that definitely at the end, I think that the last scene could have been a little more scary. But I kind of like the idea of it. I like the idea of luck being a bad thing rather than a good thing. Like getting too lucky and then like your luck of being alive goes out or something. That's kind of chilling, I think. Just okay? Okay, so we got a just okay on, this one is in my town getting good luck means you're going to die. Who wrote this one? Wait, oh my gosh, where's OP comment? Oh, wait, is OP comment not, is OP name not written? What the, wait, what? Hold on, wait, my brain. Wait, what? Does the subreddit not have OP names? Yo, Yo, the subreddit doesn't have names. I just realized that. I just realized there's no names in the subreddit. Well, okay. Okay, it's a slow burn story, just okay. Got it. Okay, should we go on to the next one? Are we good for the next one, guys? Next story, jury? What? Row? Yeah? What? Icona exchange is a horror story? That's the scary part. I've been on, you know what's funny? NoSleep comes on my feed a lot, but I avoid it because I don't like scary stuff. I don't like scary stuff. But okay, let's go to the next one. I don't know. I'm a little scared to read. I hope it's gonna be okay. I apologize in advance. There's something that's like too wild or something. But okay. My wife has always hated. I picked this one because it's Halloween. Okay. Okay. My wife has always hated Halloween. Now I know the horrifying reason why. Phoebe has always hated Halloween. Even back when we were dating, she never came to any Halloween parties with me. I have a cold. I have a headache. I ate something bad. After we got married and moved into the suburbs, she wouldn't even join me handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. I'm going to sleep, she'd say, even though it was only 6 o'clock. She'd even ask me to leave the house because I was making too much noise. I let it slide until Anthony was born. Come on, we have to go trick-or-treating. Anthony was dressed up as the cutest little pumpkin, only 8 months old. He smiled as I bounced him in my arms, looking out the door into the night. I'm really not feeling well, Phoebe replied, lingering on the stairs. You seemed fine 10 minutes ago. Well, I don't feel fine. Well, now. I don't believe you. It was mean, but I was annoyed. She'd given me the same excuses for 8 Halloweens in a row. It wasn't a coincidence. She didn't deny it, just looked past me into the night. Why do you hate Halloween? Is it because your parents were so strict? I know you weren't allowed to trick-or-treat growing up. Can't you just take Anthony alone? I want to go as a family. She glanced again at the darkness gathering outside. Then she pressed her lips into a thin line. I'm sorry, but I don't feel good. A heavy silence settled between us. She came down the stairs, wrapped her arms around both of us, and patted Anthony softly on the head. I love you both. Have fun tonight. From the way her voice slightly wavered, I could have sworn she was on the verge of tears. But she turned away, and in a flash of dark hair, she was already upstairs. The same dance happened over and over again every year. Anthony was soon wearing Mutant Ninja Turtles and Star Wars costumes instead of pumpkins, but Phoebe still refused to go trick-or-treating with us. Every year we had the same discussion. I asked her to come. She insisted that she was feeling ill. She went upstairs to our bedroom and locked the door. Anthony and I headed out onto the sidewalk, candy bucket swinging. Except on the evening of Halloween 2021, we came home early. Anthony had tripped and skinned his knee, so less than an hour after we left, we were hobbling home. As we rounded the bend into Maple Avenue, I saw the light in our room was on. Phoebe hadn't gone to sleep like she said she was. I helped Anthony with the wound, set him up in front of the TV, and then charged upstairs. I was mad. She must have heard us come home, must have heard Anthony crying in the kitchen, and she didn't even come down to check on us. Whether her aversion to Halloween was psychological or some sort of moral religious thing, it had to stop. But as I got to the top of the stairs, I froze. Phoebe's voice was coming from our room. She was talking to someone. I tiptoed to the door and pressed my ear against it. I couldn't make out what she was saying, but her voice was low, fast, soft, like she was trying not to be heard. My body went cold. I turned the doorknob, but it was locked. Phoebe, let me in! The light coming from under the door went out. I know you're in there, I shouted. Seconds ticked by. A clatter sounded from behind the door. Then finally, it opened. Phoebe darted out, quickly closing the door behind her. She looked significantly worse than just an hour ago. Her skin was pale and deep bags under her eyes. You shouldn't be home this early, she whispered. Who's in there with you? No one. She glanced back at the closed door. You and Anthony need to get out of here now. What's going on? Mike. She was cut off by a soft thump. Someone was knocking on her bedroom door. Something about the knocks made my whole body go cold. They were slow, methodical, like the person on the other side had all the time in the world. Who's in there? I whispered. She glanced back at the... I'm getting scared! I'm getting scared! I don't want to keep reading! Okay. Wait, She glanced back at the door again, her eyes wide. Do you remember the time I got a really bad asthma attack? I told you about it when we first started dating, how I was in the hospital for weeks, how I almost died. Thump, thump. What's that got to do with anything? I should have died, but I didn't. And now, every Halloween, I have to give it some of my life in payment. Without another word, she pushed the door open. In the center of the darkened room stood a towering form. Black robes hung off its thin frame, trailing on the ground. A large jack-o'-lantern sat on its shoulders, its eyes flickering amber, the mouth cut into a wide grin. The only parts of its body visible were its hands, long, gray, bone-thin fingers that ended in sharp nails. It stood in the center of the room, absolutely still. Phoebe turned away from me. She walked towards the thing, her legs shaking underneath her. The jack-o'-lantern raised a bony finger and touched her forehead. And then it crumpled into a mass of black fabric at her feet. Phoebe turned around, her mouth stretched into a wide grin as her eyes locked on mine. Then she stepped towards me, emitting a horrible, guttural laugh. I ran out of the room. "Anthony!" I shouted, finding him still in front of the TV. I grabbed him and ran outside. We leapt into the car and peeled out of the driveway. In the rearview mirror, I could see her, its silhouette in the upstairs window, watching us. I hate that. Okay. No, this is kind of creepy. Okay. I want to hear your guys' thoughts before I share what I'm thinking. I want to hear your guys' thoughts before. But your voice makes the story not that scary. No, I don't have a scary enough voice for this story. Your voice is too soothing, bro. Is it? Is my voice soothing? Is it though? Bro, Ro can be a voice actor with how good she is at reading 2023 for Ro. Oh, thanks so much, Colt. That means a lot. No, I love. You know what's funny? I used to have a hard time with language as a kid. Like I used to have a hard time reading and like, what is it like? Using my words well as a kid. And so my mom used to make me read aloud. My mom was really particular about she was like, no, read aloud. Make sure when you get to a period, your voice goes down, like all the intonation and stuff. So I'm used to reading aloud. I actually like reading aloud. I don't know. For some reason, it makes it feel so real. I love audiobooks. But no, okay, the tone is starting to set. I'm sorry, I will make sure not to jump in the middle. I got kind of creeped out. I will make sure to read through the end without caving in the middle. Mumbling little bro. Yeah, I mumbled a little bit. I slur. Actually, for those of you who have ever seen me stream when I'm really sleepy, I start slurring. When I get sleepy, I start slurring. Magic, hi, I'm looking and you make the story not scary. No! No, I'm trying to make it scary. Okay. I take that as a challenge. I will do better next time. I'll do better. Next one, I'm not going to break in the middle. Watch me. I'm not going to let my hands shaking when I'm fine. Mumbling. Okay. Add an echo to your voice. You want an echo? Is that what we need? We need an echo for this ghost story? Fine. Wakatta yo. I'll put an echo. It's good, but I didn't really think the description of the thing, though, kind of sounded like Grim Reaper with a pumpkin on its head. It's not scary, it's too fantasy. Kuppy-san, konnichiwa. Kowai hanashi yondemasu. Dou omowaremasu ka? Dou omowaremasu ka? Yeah, I don't know. Let's all try to read a scary story to scare Ro. No, have some mercy. Okay, I'll put a little ちょっとリバーブ必要って皆さんが言っていますので、ちょっとリバーブ入れとこう。ちょっとだけね、ちょっとだけ。これぐらい? Can you guys hear this? Is this okay? Good amount of reverb for scary story night? 5 out of 10? What is our ratings? Ark says 3 out of 10. Jury says 5 out of 10. Lawrence raised their rating 6 out of 10. Ryan 6 out of 10. Okay. Gamer says 8 out of 10. That was so good. I think 8 out of 10. You know what's interesting? I think closing my window blinds right now. Kai, oh my gosh, what a mood. Yeah, this is crazy. I won't glance at chat while I'm reading because I don't want to lose my place. I don't want to get distracted. But I feel free to like chat and comment as we're reading about like what you're thinking and stuff, or like how you're feeling and stuff. That's like the fun of it. Enjoy this together. Wait. Okay, here. Here's the thing that I think could have been better. I think like the thing with the wife could have been creepier. Like that whole, like the setup was so good, But I felt like the entire reasoning with the wife about giving up part of her lifespan and that could have been like drawn out and scarier. Yeah. Overall though, I thought it was so, like, it was really creepy, I think, until that point, and then I was like, okay, kind of feeling. So I would give it like I think this one, okay, let me readjust my last rating. My last rating, I'm going to drop it down. It's not as scary. I think that was more creepy. I think this one I would make like a 5 out of 10. They gave no context to it. Yeah, I feel like there could have been a little bit more with like they could have made the whole, like, the wife and all of that happening just a little more creepy once it was happening. I think that part, it could have been wilder, you know? That part could be scarier. Kai says 7 out of 10. Cyril says 4 out of 10. Got it. 5 out of 10. Breakfast didn't bite my nail with fear. Got it. No context. Yeah. The ending is Bosch. Need more context. Yeah, it was really good. I think this is like a really great short story. I think like just the ending needed a little bit more work. Too short? Yeah, just a little bit more at the end. Okay. Should we go to the next one? Okay, this time I promise I won't break in the middle. I'll make sure to just go through the end, and then I'll give my reaction. I wonder if any of these are super long. There's some that are like 4 parts. I have like several open. I have like 8 open right now. But if we run out of them and we still have like more time, we'll go read a few more. But yeah, if you guys like doing this, we can do more of this in the future. I love reading stories. I'm a huge reading nerd, so. Okay, next story. Imagine, I don't think you'll read anything that will scare me. Listen, bro. To be honest, the ones with few sentences are pretty good, right? Sometimes it's really short but creepy because there's very little like build, and you can fill your how to say, you can fill it with your own imagination, and that can be scarier. Okay, next one. I was in a band and we didn't release a thing, but my fan base is growing somehow. Okay. It all started with a single email from lilithchild13 at xxxxx to jason.reiterberg at time 2/9/2022, 1831. Hello, I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of your music. The lyrics are exceptional. It's like you've seen the inside of my head. Man, that Blasphemy and Darkness really hit me hard. Didn't like your cover songs, to be honest, but the original ones are dope. When will you release something? lilithchild13. That was something, and I think I need to bring some context here. I played in a couple of bands when I was in college. That's, 15 years ago? Mostly as a session guitarist and a drummer. Nothing serious or groundbreaking, just a couple of dudes jamming some metal. We never got big or even reached that step where we would record a demo tape and send it over to a recording company. Yeah, back then it was much harder to become a musical phenomenon. Now you can streak 3 chords. Oh, wait, what? Now you can streak 3 chords uploaded and wake up famous. Not then. But point is, we never went out in public seriously. We threw a couple of gigs and even performed in a club, but the crowd was mostly our friends and their friends. What was the band name again? Grim Sorrow or Dim Sorrow? Even I can't recall at this time. And that girl even knew the song's name. How? Are my friends pulling pranks on me? So I replied with the following. Dear lilithchild13, thank you for your kind words, and I appreciate your interest in our music. But the sad news is we broke up 15 years ago, and I don't know how did you hear about us, but consider that as our opus magnum. There's no chance we'll be getting back together anytime soon. Sorry. Have a great day. Regards, Jason. And that was it. Exciting, if you ask me. My first fan letter, even though it was 15 years late. I've been submerged in memories of the good old days. What a pity that Mark passed away. That dude could growl like a beast. And I wonder, where did Kyle go? The last time I heard about him was at a class reunion 10 years ago. He was going to Africa to build houses for the poor or something. Morning greeted me with a reply to my message. Lilith Child, to Jason Reiterberg. 3/9/2022, 2:18. No, that's so unfair. You can't leave me like that. I want more. I need more. You've composed all of it. Start a new band or find new players. I don't know. You need a player. I don't want to live. JK lol. But seriously, is it so much that I ask? I watched all your videos and even went through your unfinished material. There's so much potential, especially that Queen of Worms you've never completed. It's so good. Please, love, Lilith Child. I didn't believe my eyes at first. No, of course, there was a probability somebody filmed us on that gig and such. Mobile cameras were already a thing back then, but the second part? Not a single person knew about that song. I never showed it to anyone. Queen of Worms was written after a breakup with my girlfriend back then. I was so sad and angry, so I wrote a verse and chorus, but never finished it. Hi, Lilith Child. The videos? I don't recall anything like that, at least the ones I would be aware of. How did you know about that song? Regards, Jason. The response dropped immediately. Hi, Jason. Well, the videos were hard to get and I paid a lot to obtain them. The recordings from security cameras in Club Paramount, remember? This is a jewel among collector's items and now I own it. And as far as the song for your ex-girlfriend, I know a lot of things about you, Jason. So it seems you are interested in recording some new material, am I right? Love, Lilith Child. That was disturbing. Security cameras? Personal details? Am I being stalked or something, or is it a stupid joke? I wonder if Kyle's experiencing the same shit, so I went to search for my old notebook where I had his number written. 40 minutes later, I entered the digits and pressed call, but no luck, there was no response. I wondered if he even uses the number anymore. So I checked my writing again and called his parents. Minutes later, I hanged the phone, devastated. Kyle, my former drummer and friend, died 2 years ago in an accident on a construction site. That was just sad. A notification popped up informing me of a new email. I opened it. Hey, I'm not taking no for an answer, so what do you say? Heading to the studio already? Love, Lilith Child. I was furious. This was becoming quite annoying, so without a second thought I fired back. Hey, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but this is a bit too much, don't you think? There will be no new songs. Please stop writing me. Get a life. Regards, Jason. And just as I tapped send on my phone, a new one arrived. Oh, look who's talking, Mr. Tough Guy. Look, Jason, your thoughts are tangled right now. You're not thinking straight. I'm pretty sure you would enjoy writing some songs once you get enough motivation. You are a creator, so you can't just be aside from your talent. Let's try something else then. Love, Lilith Child. I blocked the address and went to take care of my business, pretty sure that the problem is solved. I didn't have time to mess with some cuckoos who had nothing better to do with their lives. I spent the day with my woodworking project in the shed, so most of the time only the buzzing of the saw and drill noises were my company. Later in the evening, I checked my phone, not expecting to see what was there. Hundreds and hundreds of emails. Some of them were marked important and were placed at top the list. Hey Jason, this is James from the band that was in Stranger Things. I and Kirk listened to your songs and thought you'd be a perfect match for our upcoming tour. Hey son, I just found your old guitar in the garage. So nostalgic. We spent a fortune on your equipment as you seemed so excited. And we never heard any of your songs. Your mother and I are not getting younger, you know. Hey, this is Michael, your CEO. We never met in person, but it came to me that you are quite a talented musician. Would you care to write some jingles for our next promo campaign? All the addresses were fake as fuck, though they were countless. Some of them were in foreign languages. I guess I saw a couple emails written in Chinese, or Japanese, or was it Chinese? I have been spammed and it looked like someone had an obsession. I spent some time clearing my inbox by deleting batches and batches of new arrivals. By the night, that crazy person got tired, I think, and the thing stopped. I put the phone in silent mode and went to sleep. By morning, there was a single new email, reading, Well, did it work? Sent from AB Bad Don 666. I blocked that too. I washed my face and went out to get something for breakfast. The next incident happened in the store. There were a couple of teens wearing all black, heavy makeup, studs, spikes, and chains. As I was checking the cereal section, they came along, whispering something to each other and looking at me. Finally, one of them approached me and said, Hi, I'm sorry, but are you the guitarist from Grim Sorrow? May I ask you for a favor, please? Could you sign me, sir? Excuse me, do I know you? What are you talking about? I didn't understand and just stared back at the teen who was handing me a large Bowie knife. Right here, he said, rolling up the sleeve, revealing the pale skin of his forearm, making his intention clear. Are you out of your fucking mind? I am not doing that. What the fuck? Are you that Lilith Child? I almost shouted back at him. No, I'm Gore Master, a huge fan. He smiled back at me with all that makeup, making his face look like a macabre mask. I just walked away, leaving the kids standing there with their knife and stupid requests. What the hell was going on? Did I wake up to become a meme character or something? It just didn't add up. The following weeks made things worse. I transferred all my contacts to a new email address and terminated my main account. And that didn't help. Somehow they found out my inbox is bloated with emails, so is my physical one, tons of handwritten letters asking for one thing, more songs. I see more and more teens wearing black around the town. They keep following me wherever I go. This is insane. I went to the cops and you know what? Hey, aren't you that guy from that band? My daughter's a huge fan. Could I get an autograph? The officer told me. It's like my whole town went crazy at the same time. The messages are getting grimmer and grimmer. I tend to read them from time to time. They vary from, will you drop a song if I sacrifice myself tonight, to, I will break your knees and spoon feed you as long as it's necessary until you record the album. I have no clue what to do. Police just ignore my claims, saying there are just edgy teens and there's no threat to my life. Whom should I call? National Guard? I was about to post this and ask for your advice, but then something unnerving happened. I was sitting in my room upstairs browsing Reddit when suddenly I got a message notification. I would ignore it the same way I did to thousands of others, but something made me click it. It read, Jason, we are still not getting anywhere, so I, the president of your fan club, decided to take action. We decided to visit you and make sure we're on the same note here. This is taking too long, and we can't wait any longer. We will force you to do it if you're not feeling it. Art is for the people, not for keeping to yourself. As a deed of goodwill, we brought Mark and Kyle with us, so maybe seeing old friends will light a spark. See you soon. Best wishes, Horn Shadow. And then I realized I'm not alone. The sky was pitch black with clouds covering the rising moon. Dead silence hung in the house, and I heard the floorboards creaking slightly in a room below. I leaned to the door and listened. There were some whispers and quiet shuffling sounds as if somebody was dragging a duffel bag across the hall. And then the smell kicked in, as if some raccoon found its way to a space between the walls and died there, emanating the horrible stench of putrid flesh. I've never felt more scared in my life. What were they up to? I called 112 as quietly as I could, and before I said anything, the operator said to my ear, Hi, Jason. Thank you for your call. Are you excited about a reunion party? We all expect new songs soon. Okay. The plot twist are all zombies, is that what it is? Me listening to Kirby theme isn't helping with the scary tone. Stop listening to Kirby theme, Noah. Your voice are suitable for radio MC role, really? I don't know, bro. The guy lives in emo stalker neighborhood, but wait, no, people became more and more creepy. Hi, Rico, welcome, hello. Super stalker vibes. It's stalker, guys. It's stalker. It's so stalker. But okay, here's the thing. Kyle and Mark are dead already, right? They're gone. You know what's really, really interesting though? This part right here, what is it? There's one part that does kind of creep me out a lot, like more than everything else. Is art is for the people, not for keeping to yourself. That's scary. That's really scary. I have seen people say that before. Like I've seen like people say that to artists on Twitter before, like, oh, you should share your art. Like art is meant for people. And like that stuff's scary, man. That was too real. This was too real for me. I was like, bro, no, I don't want to read. I don't want to know this. Yeah, this one was a little tough. What do you guys think? What's the rating? What's the verdict? 6 out of 10, and they dug up and dragged their bodies. Lawrence, this main singer's probably in limbo hell, lives out his normal life but doesn't know he's already dead. Oh, wait. They dead. They all dead. Maybe they all dead. He has dropped something really dope back then. Maybe 7 out of 10. Kai says 7 out of 10. Let me see some of the comments. I'm such a huge fan. Oh, no. No. The comments are cursed. No. Guys. Reddit truly delivers. Reddit, this is why I love this site sometimes. No, these comments. Oh my god, I gotta read these okay. I'm such a huge fan. Can't wait for you to release a new song. It's been years. Big fan, Jason, keep it up. Oh my gosh, Jason, I've been waiting to watch you live. I can't wait for the new album. Jason, we went to great lengths to get your band back together. It's not an option anymore. You need to release a new song. Now, Jason, we need it. Oh my god, you're Jason? The Jason from Grimsaro? Your songs are like my whole life. This post is so silly. You always did like to make jokes, but it's time to get back to the recording studio. Can't wait for the new album. Oh my gosh. No, the comments deliver. Kowasugi. I think the comments are more scary. The comments are scarier, guys. Comments are scarier. Yo, these comments are unhinged. Okay, no. There's not a single one that's like, oh, the story's good, bro. No. Can we oh god, okay. Unsee this. Unsee this. There's no escape for Jason. Back to the top. Back to the reminder that we're on a website. Hi, Kraken. How are you? Mansar, I love people. Do you? This was a good one. I was not expecting that. I was expecting some critical comments because I don't know if you guys see, like, most of the comments usually like discuss theories about like what they think happened in the story, but this one was not what I was expecting. 10 out of 10 for the comment section. 10 out of 10 for the comment section. Absolutely. They are making this story too. Jason's song is just too good. Imagine if there was like a song that was really like that like got people so hooked. Unsee. I'm doing well. I'm doing as well as I can be with scary stories. 3 out of 10 felt weak to me. Never mind 8 out of 10 for the comments. I feel ya. I feel sorry for people named Jason. If there's a Jason in this chat, I apologize in advance. Okay, that one was in that. I think the premise of that one was kind of interesting. Like the idea of just like randomly getting fans and then not knowing like how it happened, or like it's almost like living in an alternate reality. I wonder what it is. Maybe Jason's not alive. I'm guessing that's, I feel like that's the theory, guys. For those of you who said it, My Chemical Romance, cough, cough. My Chemical Crook, how are you? Man, My Chemical Romance, such a throwback. But yeah, I think it might be that Jason's dead. Who? Bro, he might not be dead yet. He might not die yet. That's true, Daniel. That's true. Who knows? Okay, next story. Man, the ones with partners, like girlfriends, boyfriends, and stuff, are kind of scarier for some reason, because it's like it feels too close to home. Okay, it's like if a family member suddenly like turned weird. That's how it feels to me when I read these ones. Like if I used to be so scared of the dark. Whenever I visited my parents in Fairy World, I'd always like have a hard time going downstairs when it was dark. Actually, like, here's a really quick random story. Wait, hold on, I have to hide this. You guys can't read ahead. Can't read ahead. I have to, like, bring in this suspense in the story. Frez, hello, welcome, good morning. Hope you enjoy starting off your day with scary stories. I was gonna say, a really random story from when I was, like, I think 11 or 12. So, my family lived in this really small apartment, like, a really small apartment in our like, very kind of empty suburb, rural suburb or something in Fairyland, okay? And, like, it was fine. Like, that's what I'd grown up in. Like, most of my memory as a child was in that little, like, initially, right, was in that little apartment. And then, like, my parents finally saved up enough to, like, get an actual house, like, to own their own home. And so we moved to this house, and I'd never lived in a house that had 2 floors before in my life, like that kind of house. And I remember the first night, like, everything felt so big, like, open and big and spacious compared to, like, our little apartment. I cried. My mom cried too, actually. Like, I had just hugged my mom and we just cried. The first night was so scary. And it's like, it's a safe neighborhood. Like, it was actually, I think, safer than our old neighborhood. But, like, I just cried the first night. Yeah, so that was my, that was, like, my scary experience. And so, actually, like, for the longest time, even until I want to say, like, a couple years ago, I used to always, like, have to kind of sing to myself while going downstairs. I think it stopped after, like, I've become an adult, but, like, I used to cry going downstairs, or, like, feel scared going downstairs. But yes, that's my little story. I still feel that way about opening the garage at night. Yeah, I still find opening the garage at night scary. Okay, side stories aside, let's read the next one. 10 out of 10. My scary story was 10 out of 10. Thank you, Arcs. Always the support. Name, how are you? Singing to yourself sounds way more scarier. No, like I would just be like humming, or, like, you know, sometimes I will talk to somebody, like, as if, like, I'll, like, talk to my mom upstairs, or, like, I'll talk to somebody, or, like, yeah, that's actually a good one. Actually, the best thing is just turn on all the lights. I turn on all the lights as I go downstairs and turn them all off as I come back upstairs, and I run upstairs. I run upstairs because I'm scared. Okay, so let's read the next one. My I need water. My girlfriend was up unusually early this morning. I wish I never found out why. Man, all these people dreaming about their girlfriends. Doing scary stuff. Wives and girlfriends doing scary stuff. Okay. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but we're getting to, like, progressively popular stories, so I don't know how they'll turn out. Singing in the dark as someone duet you. Breakfast, delete your own comment. I can never. No. My girlfriend was up unusually early this morning. I wish I never found out why. I'm going to take out the trash, my girlfriend Monica announced as soon as I entered the kitchen that morning. I hadn't expected to see her up this early. Certainly not after how late she must have gotten home last night. After spending Friday nights bar hopping with friends, Monica usually slept in until lunch. Okay, honey, I said without particular interest. Thanks. Grabbing the cereal box from the counter and plopping down on one of the kitchen chairs, I wondered if she had returned home earlier that previous night and I simply missed it. I mean, I normally wake up as soon as I heard the key turning in the lock, but perhaps that night she'd been particularly quiet? Or maybe she'd stayed with one of her friends. How was your night? I asked as soon as I heard the front door click shut. What time did you get home? Silence. I raised my head from my bowl, waiting for her to emerge from around the corner, but the corridor was empty. Honey? I tried again, my voice saturated with uncertainty. Monica appeared in the doorway, her expression unreadable. She didn't look disoriented or drunk, but she didn't seem quite right either. Her hands were fidgety, and her eyes wouldn't meet mine. Monica? I grunted, trying to tame the lump in my throat. What's the matter? She took a deep breath and parted her lips as though she was going to speak, but then hunched her shoulders and shook her head. I need to take out the trash, she said. I gawked at her, dumbfounded. But you just did. She shook her head and glided towards the trash can cabinet, opening it and producing another bag from within. Then, just like the previous time, she turned on her heel and disappeared from the kitchen. Needless to say, the silent treatment was unlike Monica. Had something happened during her night out? Had I done anything to upset her? And where were all these bags coming from? As soon as I heard the front door shut, I leapt out of my seat and threw the cabinet open, expecting to... Well, I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting. Either way, it was empty. What's going on? I asked when she returned 5 minutes later, the same empty look in her eyes. Do you want to talk about it? She looked dubious. Monica? Okay, she said, but first, let me take out the trash. My stomach lurched as she flung the cabinet open again, pulling out yet another garbage bag. What the hell? I began subconsciously pinching my arm, as if to ensure I wasn't dreaming. What are all these bags? But she wasn't listening, instead turning her back to me and retreating the same way she had come. A chill crawled up my spine. What the hell was going on? I could have sworn the cabinet had been empty only a few moments ago. Where had all these bags come from, and why was she taking them out all at once? Why wasn't she taking them out all at once? Shutting the front door behind me as meticulously as I could, I crept down the hallway leading to the stairwell. I needed to investigate. Monica had never willingly taken out the trash before. She said the garbage chute gave her the creeps. Our apartment was on the 6th floor, so there was no way she was going down all those flights of stairs for a single bag of garbage. The door to the garbage chute at the end of the hallway was ajar, and I could hear the faint wail of metal as it was pulled open. I swallowed, suddenly at a loss for what to do. I mean, wouldn't it be weird if she found me just standing there? And what exactly was I planning to say? I listened in, my skin prickling in anticipation and my heart thudding in my chest. Oh, what was I getting so worked up for? It was only Monica, for God's sake. She probably had a falling out with one of her friends, or maybe I was snoring again and she couldn't get to sleep. I'll just go in and But what I saw when I opened the door will remain with me for the rest of my life. Monica was sitting on the door of the chute, her legs already swallowed by the darkness within. Slowly but surely, she was edging her body into it, her palms clammy against the metallic finish. She turned her head at the sound of the door opening, and for a brief moment her eyes lit up with recognition. "Monica!" I cried out, dashing towards the chute, my heart practically leaping out of my chest. "What are you—" But it was too late. Startled by my voice, or by my presence, she let go and disappeared into the chute, a raspy wail reverberating against the steel. Thud. I wanted to scream, but it was as though I'd suddenly gone mute. Fear sizzled through me like an electricity as I flew down the stairs to the manager's office. "Give me the key to the trash room," I demanded breathlessly. "My girlfriend is inside." He looked at me over the tops of his glasses as though questioning my state of mind. "That's impossible," he retorted. "I have the only key." Tears were flowing freely down my cheeks and my clothes were damp with sweat. I must have looked at a downright sight, but I didn't care. "She fell into the chute," I sobbed, grabbing the edge of his desk for support. "From the 6th floor." Everything happened quickly after that. An ambulance was called, as were the police. At first, they were hesitant to tell me what they'd found. They kept insisting I sit down and have some water, throwing leaflets about therapy and mental well-being in my lap. Please, just tell me. Just tell me. I kept repeating, but nobody was listening. Hours seemed to pass by without a single word of affirmation or any information needed to piece the events of the morning together. The ambulance left within about 20 minutes of arrival and left the police to take care of it. I couldn't understand it. I mean, even if Monica was badly hurt, she'd still need to be looked at the hospital. So why had they left? Eventually, an uneasy-looking officer took a seat next to me. "Son," he began slowly, studying my reaction. "Your girlfriend is gone." I buried my face in my hands. Of course she was. She jumped down the fucking chute, plummeting God knows how many feet. "But your story isn't quite adding up," he continued, his eyes narrowing. "You said she'd fallen into the chute, but..." He took a deep breath, his forehead creasing. "But we found her, well, parts of her inside a garbage bag." My blood ran cold. It was like I could no longer understand what he was saying. His mouth was moving, but the sounds were jumbled and wouldn't make sense. Inside a garbage bag? What the hell was that supposed to mean? He explained that the garbage bag had been there for at least several hours before the police were called. He said that there was no doubt that its contents belonged to Monica. He asked whether I had any idea what happened. Then, in a much softer tone, he added that I'd be expected to come in for questioning. When I finally returned to my apartment that morning, all I wanted to do was fall into bed and go to sleep, praying I'd wake up to discover that all this had been nothing but a bad dream. But as soon as I entered the bedroom, the front door slammed shut. "Hello?" I called out, my voice meek and croaky. Silence. A newfound sense of dread filled my lungs as I recalled the events of this morning. As I tiptoed slowly towards the kitchen, I couldn't help wondering if... No, it couldn't be. She was leaning over the trash can cabinet, a new garbage bag in her grasp. She spun around and our eyes met. "I'm just going to take out the trash," she said. I stared at her, my breath catching in my throat. Here she was, right in front of me, talking about trash as if it were the most casual thing in the world. In a feeble attempt to make her stay, I asked the only question I could think of. I asked it even though I knew the answer already. What's in the bag, honey?" Ew! Why? But what? No, I don't get it. I don't get... No. I'm done. Kai's like, no. Goodbye. No. 7.5 out of 10. I'm seeing, oh, Arx, you're liking this one? 10 out of 10 voice. Oh, thanks. No. Does her soul recognize that she's trad? No. Manzer. So mad. No, bro. Oh, man. My guess is she's a serial killer or something. But no. But her body is in the bags in the trash chute though, right? And you saw her fall, right? Yandere girlfriend? But no, it can't be. But then whose body is it? Because like the police would have like ID'd the body and stuff, right? Rose's voice actually sounds like my computer science teacher. I don't know how to feel about that. I do not know how to feel about that. Do you like your computer science teachers? But actually, please don't tell me the answer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. That is hella good. 8 out of 10. You like it? She's just drunk. I wonder if the boyfriend is drunk or something. Is the boyfriend stuck in a time loop? But then wait. He's stuck in a time loop but then she's... Wait, I'm so confused. Limbo again? Another limbo? There's a lot of limbo stories. It's the first really good one. Several harsh critic over here. Yeah, it's the first really good one. He's not stuck in a loop? Why don't you think he is, Lawrence? Wait, what are you thinking, Lawrence? I want to hear. Now, I love listening to you read. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Wait, there's no way the cops would send him back home. Sorry, 6 out of 10. No way I wonder if, like, usually they'll be like, don't leave the country or whatever, right? I wonder. Would they take them, or they might need a little time to, like, DNA and everything. But technically you can have a suspect in lockup for 48 hours before you have to be able to press charges, I think, right? Perhaps it was like a view into the future. Angry Bakunawa, that was a good one. You deserve a good choco. I ate way too much choco today. Please don't remind me. I don't stress eat very often, but sometimes when I'm having like I had a lot of studying to do today, and I had a midterm to take, and so I stress ate some choco. I'm not gonna lie, I stress ate some choco. Okay. Wait, Lawrence, the wife is making him dream. Oh, you mean the girlfriend? Yeah. His dream hallucinate that she's still there. The trash story is a prelude to somewhat an investigation for her murder. Oh, so maybe he did do it, but like he's dreaming that he's pinching himself and it's not a bad dream. So what is it? Is he hallucinating that he hasn't done it yet or something like that? He is jealous and she goes out with her friends. I don't know if they're her male friends or not. It's just her friends. They don't specify, I don't think. Then he kill her and make her a false truth to live with, but goes crazy and experience the delusion. Possibly. Hey, Rome, mind taking out the trash? Blue, are you trying to kill me off? Is this your sign? Is this what you're trying to do? No! I took the trash out yesterday morning. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. I'm still alive. Leave me alone. No. No. Yeah, I wonder what... Okay, let's see. Not buying OP's alibi on this one. It's all too neatly wrapped up. Okay, everyone's saying ghost in here. I'm thinking she's been replaced and whatever replaced her, slowly disposing of her body. Maybe, but then like what was happening? Like why is it like a time loop though? Like a weird demon creature trying to cover its tracks. This is what I was kind of thinking, guys. I was thinking she was replaced. I don't understand. Someone else is saying Opie had a mental breakdown. What they're seeing is a guilt-driven hallucination of their girlfriend taking her own body down the chute, then diving down herself. Oh, so this is what you guys are thinking, right? Hallucination? Are you sure you did? I will not check. I refuse to check. Speaking of which, I gotta check out the trash. Lawrence, please come back to us after you do. Please come back to us after you do. So you have a memory problem and killed your girlfriend while sleepwalking? This is another theory that I think you guys are saying, right? もし私が暗殺者なら私はあなたを殺す。いや、怖い怖い。そういうこと言わないでくださいよ、もう本当に。いや、怖い。やだよ。生きたいよ、私もう。Bro, don't worry, you can trust us. Go check out the trash. I refuse. That'd make it much better if he is hallucinating, maybe. He was talking to her ghost, the ghost let it... I love how people ask if someone can clarify, but most people don't actually know the answer. He was talking to her ghost. The ghost led him to the garbage chute where the body was. Sleep murder actually sounds legit. I kind of think it's either sleep murder or it's... I think she's replaced and the replacement is killing her or like throwing her out. But then that doesn't explain how there's more and more bags even though she's already fully down, like all her body parts are down. So like, I don't know. I think it's more likely that he's hallucinating. Lawrence, the odds of me coming back is like a Genshin 50-50 Lamau. Please, someone with good Genshin luck, ensure that Lawrence comes back to us. Okay, Lawrence, should we start the next story in the meantime? Next story. How many stories do I have planned for you? I have 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more stories planned. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but if you guys like this, we can do this next week as well. I actually had a different Reddit thing planned for next week, but we can save that for the week after because it's not Halloween themed. So that one we can do in a different time. Wait for Lawrence? Wrath, you want me to wait for Lawrence? Okay. In the meantime, let me see. What can we do in the meantime? Cute ghost. Wait, hold on. I wanted to do this. Okay, we'll take a 3-minute breathing break for all of you guys. I know. It's okay, Wrath. It's okay if you're scared. You can take a deep breath. We're all here with you. It's okay. Get some hot cocoa. Get some water. Get your Pikachu plushie. Get your roommate. Get your mom. Get your brother. Hug them close and join in on the stream. Bring your friends virtually. Discord virtually bring them to the snack time. Grab a snack. You're back? Okay, Lawrence is back. We're back. Okay, cool. Forget the meantime thing I was going to do. Never mind. Okay. Did you see what I posted? I probably reacted to it if I did, Blue. Usually I will react to whatever I see in the food channel. But if I haven't, I'll check it after stream. Don't worry. Okay. Got the whole family and introduced them to row to them. Yeah, if you're in school, just assert your dominance and put me on the projector. No, I'm kidding. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I shy. Don't do that. Okay. Next story. Drink water real quick. It's too late to get my mom at 3 a.m. It's okay. Take yourself to your mom. Never too old to be like, Mom, I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm scared, I'll still go like hug my mom. I'm a huggy fairy. Okay. I was hard to notice things out of place. As a kid, I was scared of pretty much everything. At night, I'd see faces moving in the wallpaper. I'd see branches slither like snakes. Piles of clothes turn to slumped bodies. Lamps look like heads. And the front of cars grinned at me with sinister intent. I could also hear them. A creaking door would sound like a groan. The wind would scream and floorboards would breathe heavy sighs. To me, there were ghouls, ghosts, and monsters around every corner. Needless to say, I was a nervous kid. Turns out it wasn't just an active imagination. I have a condition. It basically boils down to chronic overactive pareidolia. You know that thing where you can see faces in cars or shapes of people in trees? That's pareidolia. It is a sort of defense mechanism that humans have evolved to notice camouflage creatures like jaguars and snakes and to discern the sounds of encroaching predators. But to me, it is about 16 times more noticeable than what is normal for the average person. I see things everywhere, all the time. Of course, there were treatments. By age 12, I had tried 6 different regimens over a total of 4 years, and the side effects were brutal. Some would make me irritable, while others would make me hyper-focused. One type of medication just straight up put me to sleep. By age 18, I thought I'd never get a job. I was barely dragging myself through school, and there was no way I'd make it through college. I was on a course of drugs that barely kept me together, but they gave me these awful tics. I'd drop things, I'd wake up in the middle of the night, my leg would shoot out and trip me. I was a mess. My mom had to cover the stairs and handrail in grip tape. A few years ago, I had a standing meeting with the county employment services every Thursday. I hated it. On a particularly bad day, my mom had to drive me there. The meds were kicking my ass. She dropped me off at the end of the street, and just in the short walk to the office, I almost tripped into a brick wall. I was so flustered, I knocked over a trash can. But for the first time in a couple of years, I had an interview with a potential employer. I didn't think much of her. She was just some old woman in a warm coat. She introduced herself as Teresa, and told me that she'd heard a lot about me. She'd offered me a trial and a hefty one-time payment. I didn't get a clear idea about what I was supposed to do, but she told me that secrecy was part of it. The only demand she had was that I stop taking my meds. Still feeling the trash smell on my pants, I took Teresa up on her offer. On my first day of work, I had no idea what to expect. I'd been off my meds for a week, and I had barely slept. It was hard to wrap my head around the world as I'd seen it as a kid. I'd see faces in the walls and the shadows and the leaves and patterns pretty much everywhere. I'd hear voices and screams in every breaking car and crinkling paper and creaking floors. It was hard staying focused, and I was so jumpy I could barely move without flinching. Teresa picked me up in a gray sedan. She was wearing a headset and kept looking over at the GPS. I noticed her leg was twitching and that she kept biting her lip. She barely looked at me that whole ride. We finally arrived at a small yard about a 40-minute drive off the highway. There were 2 large trailers and a single-story rundown prefab house from the 60s, one of those things with cheap wood panels and matching broken windows. There were 8 other vehicles in the yard, 4 sedans, 2 vans, a jeep, and a bus. They'd set up warning tape, a command tent with laptops and an antenna, spotlights, and half a dozen crates covered with blue tarps. There were armed men with assault rifles, security personnel with handcuffs, and a couple of medics standing by with first aid kits and stretchers. I was swarmed as soon as I stepped out of the car. They fitted me with a headset, protective gloves, a heart monitor, and tagged me with a plastic ribbon around my left wrist. All the while, Teresa was just looking around, a bead of sweat stinging her eye. "What are we looking at?" she asked. 3, 4? "Just one," I heard in the headset. "We got it early. You got the spot?" "On site," she responded. "Any blues?" No blues were clear. Teresa finally turned to me. She faced me, put her hands on my shoulders, and talked slowly. "This seems like a lot," she said. "All I want you to do is to go inside, carefully, and tell me what you see." "Why?" I asked. "What's in there?" "I don't know," she sighed. "None of us knows, but we think you can see it." "Is it dangerous?" She shook her head. We don't know. We're trying to get to know them. There was a flurry of instructions. I had to sign a waiver. They took pictures of me from 6 different angles and took several blood samples. They took a swab from my tongue, checked my eyes, and fitted me with a pair of safety goggles. Teresa took them from me just seconds later. Nothing around the eyes, she said. You need to see clearly. They asked me to approach the door while they were running some kind of diagnostic. Weapons check, systems check, ready checks. It felt like we were launching a rocket. I could feel my legs shaking. I'm with you all the way, Teresa said over the headset. You can leave at any time. Just tell me what you see, and I really mean what you see. A countdown began. At 0, the spotlights turned on, and the entire yard turned into a soundless ghost town. Everyone held their breaths. It was my turn. I stepped inside. A simple 1-story house. 3 rooms, a bathroom, a kitchen. Someone had clearly lived there until recently. There were still clothes flung over a chair in the living room. The power was off, but the pale spotlights coming in through the windows made it feel like I was walking through a hospital waiting room. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I didn't know what to expect, but this payday could be the boost I needed to get my own place. A paycheck with 4 zeros for a single day of work. But standing there, looking into the sterile living room, I was having doubts. What do you see? Asked Teresa. Notice anything? No, just furniture. A couch, an old TV, a fancy carpet. Nothing out of the ordinary. I just walked around, saying out loud what I was seeing. As the minutes passed, Teresa was getting impatient. These are just things, she said. I need you to tell me what you really see. I entered the bathroom and immediately felt the awful feeling in the pit of my stomach. A noise tickled my ear. Looking in the bathroom mirror, I could see something moving behind me. In a heartbeat, I caught a glimpse of a pair of blue eyes. I turned around, screaming. Something moved! I flung myself backwards, closing the bathroom door with the tip of my fingers. I stumbled, tearing down the shower curtains and crushing a cockroach. Laying there with my feet in the air, I tried to remember to breathe. Rarely have I ever been so scared that I had to remind myself to breathe. My fingers tingled with adrenaline. Tell me what you saw, Teresa yelled. What's in there? Blue eyes. It had blue eyes. Did you see where it went? I didn't. To the best of my knowledge, it was still outside the door. Look again, she continued. Look again, then get out. She had to coax me out of the bathtub. She encouraged me, spurred me on, and reminded me that I had to leave the room one way or the other. It probably took them 15 minutes to get me out of the tub, and when they did, I could barely feel my feet. When I finally opened the bathroom door, I couldn't see anyone. The hallway was empty. I carefully stepped out, looking around. Nothing. Standing in the middle of the living room, I felt like an idiot. This was exactly what I was taking my medication for. Paranoia and sudden bouts of fear. It dawned on me that maybe I was influenced by all the people outside and their preparations. I was walking in here expecting to see something. They'd worked me up, so of course I was seeing things. But then again, there was an odd painting on the wall that I hadn't paid attention to earlier. It was the strangest thing. It was a sort of thrift store painting showing 2 women walking across a bridge on a hot summer's day. It was sort of generic, but I'd been hyper-vigilant when I first stepped in. You know that feeling when you say a word over and over so many times that it starts sounding like noise? That's the feeling that fell over my eyes. The picture started to blur and disappear, turning into swirling colors. And there, in the blur, I saw those blue eyes. They were small blue dots in the water on the side of the bridge in the painting. That's what I'd seen. And there, I'd seen a face, something blending into my sight, disappearing. And for a second, I knew for certain that I hadn't seen this painting when I first stepped inside. And now it knew that I could see it. I felt it. I slowly started backing out. There's something in the painting, I whispered, in the living room. You sure? Teresa asked. Absolutely sure? Absolutely. Get out. I rounded the corner and heard the floorboards creak. I could no longer see the painting, and I could sense something move. Backing out of the front door and into the cool autumn air, I could feel hands on my shoulders. Armed men pulled me back, and paramedics started to check my eyes with flashlights. They asked me all sorts of personal questions like my name, my mother's maiden name, and the name of the president. I was told to lay down as I heard a team breach the house with stun guns, cattle prods, nets, and a crate. Laying there and feeling the pressure subside, I just cried and laughed. I didn't even notice Teresa sitting down next to me. I was given a cold drink and a pill, and I took it without question. "You did good," she said. "You're done. You're done." What was that? What's in there? Something only a special mind can see. That was my first time working with Teresa. Over the coming years, I would be called in about once or twice a month, and the pay I got from those few days were enough to get me out of my parents' house. Teresa would check in with me weekly, and I had to submit to regular checkups. More often than not, I was completely off the leash. I started to learn a bit more about the company I was working for and what they were doing. I started getting payments from Hatchet Biotechnica, a subsidiary of Hatchet Pharmaceuticals. My official title was contractor, a title that was repeated like a name. Teresa started going into greater details on what to look for and how to act, but that first mission was a sort of test to prove myself. I had no idea what I was actually proving, but it felt like my tendency to discern patterns and seeing dangers helped me along. I learned a bit more about their procedures. For example, they were adamant about checking for blues. This meant surveying the nearby area to look for some kind of infection, usually taking the form of miscolored flowers. Most often blue, but not always. Sometimes tulips, most often sunflowers. Once they just found a bunch of teeth sticking out of the wall. Whenever they checked for blues, this is what they would look for, something overtly strange and unnatural. When something like this was found, the whole mission would be called off, and they would use controlled explosives to just take out the entire area. In more populated areas, they'd set up tents and use flamethrowers. I remember once the week before Christmas, when 6 men with flamethrowers were called in to burn down a greenhouse. I'll never forget the way the flames reflected off their visors. To them, it all just looked like flames, but I saw something else. I saw bodies wreathing in the flames. I heard screams in the shattered glass, and in the charred remains of melted pained faces glaring at me with hateful black eyes. Up until a few months ago, I had worked a total of 33 cases over 2.5 years. Every case, I'd step into a location and look for 1 to 3 things hiding in plain sight. Up until that point, I still had no idea what they actually were. Sometimes I'd catch a glimpse of something running past me or see a pair of blue eyes looking at me from across the room. Every time I just reported it and left. A chair, a fridge, a suspicious window. Hell, once it was a music box. This time we were just coming up to a house. It was a rainy autumn evening, and the area was already set up when we got there. I saw a for sale sign knocked over by one of the Jeeps who'd taken a wide turn. I got suited up. Blood samples, plastic wrap, all that jazz. It was set up to be just another job. Although I was nervous, I was getting better. "No blues?" asked Teresa. "None," and one of the armed men. "We're looking at a single tango." "You sure?" Teresa squinted. "First report said 6. Secondary reading says 1. We might have runners." "Notify the Galapagos," she said. "Put him on the hunt." She turned to me with a smile, tapping me on the shoulder. "In and out, you got this." "I got this," I repeated. "Yeah." Standard routine. Countdown, spotlights, game on. It felt like stepping onto a stage. As I walked through the door and saw my shadow stretch out across the floor, I felt like a hunter. That I was the one to fear, and that whatever stayed in this house tried to hide for a good reason. "The floor is crooked," I noted. "Strange place." "You sure?" "Yeah," I nodded. "Definitely." I steadied myself and started checking the rooms one by one. I waited for that feeling to emerge, my eyes seeing through the obvious and seeing the picture beneath the picture, the blue eyes emerging from nothing and the patterns of shadowy figures growing clearer. Just relaxing and expecting that feeling to wash over me was enough to put me at ease, but I could still feel a primal part of me tickling my nerves, expecting me to panic. But nothing happened. I checked the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom. There was nothing. Just a strange, croaked floor, empty rooms, and the echo of my own footsteps. An empty guest bedroom with a single window. Through it, I imagined scowling faces in the trees outside. 20 minutes passed and I got nothing. I reported to Teresa, and she assured me we were still getting readings from inside the house. Something was still in there with me, but I hadn't seen anything. I went through cycles of denial, fear, and anger over and over. What was I missing? Finally, I just sat down in the middle of the living room floor. I scratched my eyes and sighed and tried to relax. Teresa, I'm not feeling it. Are you sure? There was no response. Teresa? Yeah, she responded absent-mindedly. Yeah, no, we're good. Hold on for a minute. We're good? I asked. What do you mean, we're good? Again, no response. I stomped around for another 10 minutes before I went up to a window facing the front yard. It was hard to see through the glare of the spotlight. Teresa? I'm coming out. This place is empty. As soon as I opened the front door, I saw 24 faces fixed on me. Maybe they were surprised to see me, but I got the sense that there was something else. I could tell something was off. They all looked at me with strange expressions. Some neutral, some smiling ear to ear. One of the paramedics just stared at me with slack-jawed terror. It was as if they didn't know what to feel or how to express it. A hole sunk through my stomach. I got that hollow feeling as my eyes glazed over, like I was staring at something false, something hiding a pattern. This was the sense I'd been looking for inside, and now I was feeling it. In the far back, I saw Teresa. She stepped out from behind a jeep, smiling ear to ear. Behind the shape of her face, her eyes emerged, glowing with a cold blue. One by one, their eyes flared up in a blue glow, and there in a moment my paranoid sight registered human-like shapes in the grass around them, headless, mauled bodies. Imposters, lookalikes, mimics, nightmare beings having tricked us into a trap. One by one, smiles starting creeping across their faces, rows of implausibly sharp teeth hiding long tongues, their fingers growing longer, their necks elongating. They were losing their disguises and facing me head on, unafraid. Nothing was said out loud, not a word. But to me, it was as if the wind itself was screaming for me to run. I slammed the door behind me and ran. Faces were coming out of the walls, door handles turning into hands, grasping at my clothes, my distorted face reflecting in windows and mirrors with jawless grins. I couldn't blink. Every heartbeat, a new horror forced my eyes open. There were more doors than I remembered. There were more windows than should be. The kitchen suddenly had a skylight, and there were 4 fridges. Countless paintings had appeared in the master bedroom depicting cruel and blood-drenched horrors. They were already here, trying to surround me, and my mind was racing to remember what was real and what wasn't. Rushing to the back of the guest bedroom, I remembered there being only 1 window. Now there were 2. I had to roll the dice, take a guess, do something. As I grabbed the window frame, I imagined teeth slamming into my hands, tongues licking across my palms, wide smiles sating their hunger. But this time it was just my imagination. I burst through the window and took off, running into the woods. Through the night, I just kept going. My chest hurt from holding the screams in. Without my medication, everything in the dark looked like something reaching for me, trying to eat me, trying to grab me. Creaking branches sounded like laughter, and howling winds were screams. I must have run for hours when my foot got caught between 2 rocks. As I tumbled to the ground, twisting my ankle, I saw them descend on me. I felt their fingers scratching me. I writhed on the ground, screaming for them to just let me go, to just please let me go. But after a few seconds, I realized I had just scratched myself on the underbrush. There was no one there. I was safe. I broke down crying, trying to ignore the twisted face reflecting off the full moon above. Eventually, I made my way home. There were no messages waiting for me. All my work numbers had been taken offline. All ways to contact them were just gone, and there was no info on the firm that hired me. Hatchet Biotechnica exists only on paper. There's no location, no contact info, and no names attached. It's all a front. I haven't heard from Teresa since. I think that whoever I've been working for have just assumed I'm dead. That's why I decided to share this anonymously. Those who know who I am can reach out to me. And for those who don't, I just have a word of warning. Be observant. Trust your intuition. It might save your life. No! Man, this was long! Yo! Oh! Or maybe it's because I'm reading it felt, oh, that was long. No, it was long. It was long. I should have checked how long it was. Easily the best story so far. It was a good story! SCP vibes. It reminds me of like, does anybody know Monk? It's a super old TV show. Why do I know it? Because I never had cable, so I watched a lot of super old TV shows, and I like super old TV shows. Monk. So there's a story called Monk. It reminds me of a mix of like Monk and Phasmophobia. 9 out of 10. This just reminds me of my childhood when I saw a pair of eyes looking at me when I was, oh no. Scary. Wait, hold on. I want to go back up. I know I missed a couple things. Cosette, welcome to Tier 2. Thank you so much for joining membership. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you like scary stories. I hope you all don't sleep tonight. No, I'm kidding. I hope you guys sleep tonight. Thank you so much. Hope you like the chocolate covered strawberry. Thank you for being a member. Lena, congrats on 7 months. Thank you for being a Tier 3 member. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. It's always great to see you during streams. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a member. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is scary, yo. Nami, you read it so well, bro. Really, thank you. I got vaguely reminded of the movie A Beautiful Mind. Oh yeah, with oh my gosh, the Princeton economist. Why did I forget his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Oh my god, that story was, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but that story was that movie was trippy. That movie really oh yeah, it's about schizophrenia. Yeah, it was really tough to watch for me actually. I watched it in my AP Psych class in high school. Man, that was hard. Yeah. I remember one time I was sleeping in my room and I saw a giant zombie in my room. It was just a bunch of clothes on a chair. No, that's the worst is when you have something hanging and then you forget. And then you're like, oh my gosh. No. This effort, Teresa. Okay, hold on. I want to catch up on like comments. Yes, welcome. What was I saying? Yeah, Phasma, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Isekai into your mental. No. Anime adaptation when? This one was good, right? It was a long story, but it was really well thought out. I kind of think... Yeah, I think the ending was just a little bit confusing with like the Hatchet Biotechnica being the front, but I think that's just, he's saying that the people that were hiring him were a front for something different, right? Yeah. For a Reddit post, this is great storytelling. No, I was like, the bar is low, but this exceeded it. So true. These are the best stories so far. Whole novel, yes. This made it as real as it gets. It's true, we do see things, like when I'm looking around, you like know, like when you notice things in the clouds or stuff, like it's very creepy, right? It's a good story, 9 out of 10 for me. Jury says 9 out of 10, Ryan says 9 out of 10, Lauren's 8 out of 10. 長文読むのがご苦労様です。ありがとうございます。大変でした。もう怖かったよ、これ。もう。いやー、こういうなんだろう、その現実基本にして作ってる怖い話はね、本当にね、怖いね。いや、怖いや。なんかすごい想像できてしまいますね。もう。Let's go Reddit content. Jay, guys, my friend Jay is here. Jay, do you like the scary story? Do you like the scary story? Lawrence, this reminds me of a similar story that happened to me IRL. Instead of blue eyes, there were yellow eyes staring at me through my bedroom window. Are you sure it's not the neighbor's cat? Not the neighbor's cat, Lawrence. Everyone has seen something in their room at night. Exactly. That's what makes the story so much creepier. It's like something that we all kind of experience. But okay, let's read some of the comments. Do you think they got Teresa and the team, or that it was maybe a setup the whole time and they were just using you to hide themselves even better? I think it was Teresa and the team. I think Teresa and the team didn't know. And I think, yeah, OP, I think they were... Oh, I like how OP is commenting because they don't know either. I think they were just tired of being seen. As far as I know, their usual reactions were either to run or hide. This time they didn't. Jesus, what are they? It took a lot to figure out, but this did a good job right before bed. Don't read this before bed! My grandma didn't have cats 20 years ago. That's... Yeah, no. This one is rough. That's why they say kids don't lie. Maybe you have a blessing curse. I mean, maybe all people born with the power of seeing these creatures, but as we grow older, we just lose it. They talk about stuff like that, right? Like in a lot of stories, you hear like ghost stories where like most kids can talk to ghosts, but as you become an adult and you like kind of accept like societal reality, you don't hear or see ghosts anymore. Yeah. Wow. Ugh. No, wait, guys, I have to sleep alone after I read this. I'm scared. 怖いや。いや、怖い。ちょっと待って。I already don't sleep well. Maybe this is not a good idea. That one was wild. This one was good. It was good. This one was good. Wait, can I upvote still? Oh, I have to log in, right? I'm not gonna log in. Wait, maybe I should log into my rocchi account next time. Not my human account, but my rocchi, my fairy account. Yes, I have a fairy account. Okay. Whew. Should we go for another one? Hold on, this time I'm going to check really quick how long this is, because if it's like, oh god. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, this isn't too crazy. Wait, you know what? Skim real quick. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure we have time. Okay, this one's good. Let's move this up. And let me check this one real quick. Let's just make sure I'm not doing too many. Okay, good. Not too many long ones. We can do a couple long ones. Okay, this one's okay. And then unread. Okay. Okay. We're good. I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. I think the next 4 that I have. We'll not do this one. We'll skip this one because it's a little bit long. No, this one's not. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. Hold on, guys. I don't want to spoil way too much. Give me just a second. Let me just check really quick and figure out which ones I'll read. Yeah, this one's okay. We'll put this up. Is this the one that was really long? There was one that I was reading that was really long. Hold on. Yes. This is the uber long one. Okay. We'll save this for another time. This one looks really interesting though. Okay. This is good. Okay, the next 4 are pretty short, so it'll go by a little quickly. Do you have R2 sentence horror? Next time. We'll do that one next time, K4. We'll do that maybe next week. We can do a combination of that and no sleep. But okay, let's keep stories. Keep reading. I don't keep toys in my room. Best to have is an Oni mask and an acrylic Yulo stand. Okay, listen, the Oni mask is pretty scary. Okay? I hate sleep paralysis, man. 2 of my little brother's toys jumped on me and started laughing. Oh! No! But thanks for the idea, K4. Yeah, I haven't read 2 sentence horror in a really long time. All have different vibe to it so far. That is true. I was trying to pick stuff that was a variety without being too like, what is it? Like, yeah, pick some variety because sometimes horror stories start to sound a little similar. Okay, let's read the next one. Drink some water. The next one I thought was interesting because it has TikTok in it. In the title, because obviously I didn't read it. It has TikTok in the title, and I was like, yes. It is not. I can't send a pic for proof if you want me to row. You can put it in the Discord. I'll check it. Look, put it in General Yen or something. I'll take a look. I'm down to see. I love seeing stuff. Yeah, send it to me. I'll check it out. 2 sentence horror, no chocolate, all stir clothes. No! Breakfast! Why you attack me like this since this morning? What did I do to you? Why you keep attacking me like this? Wow. Okay. Let's read the next story. Also, sorry guys, I still have my cold from earlier this week. My nose is kind of like blocked. So if you hear me sniffling, I really apologize. I don't want to be sniffling while I'm reading, but I am in fact sniffling while I'm reading. Not making sleep tonight, thanks. No worries, breakfast. Okay, next story. Hold on one second. You know what? Let me just take my medicine really quick. That way I can read without. I get like I get colds really easily. I've always gotten like colds really easily. Not like the cold where you get like a fever and stuff, but like where like your nasal passage gets a little stuffy since I was a kid. So I have medicine for it. So just take a cough drop too. Okay. Okay, I feel better. I'm feeling fine. No. I'm feeling totally fine. It's just that like I react to weather really well. I mean, not really well. Let me take that back. I react to weather a lot. So if the room temperature in my, like, if the temperature in my room changes a lot, like I'll get a stuffy nose. That's it. Nothing too crazy. I know some people get like worse reactions to weather, like seasonal sensitivities, but I don't usually. Yeah, no worries, Ryan. Thanks for dropping by. But thanks, Rain. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I feel better. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I've just seen my family's abandoned old farm being explored by someone on TikTok. He shouldn't have gone there. It's late. I'm doing my usual sitting in bed long past the time I need to be asleep, scrolling mindlessly through TikTok. It's a bad habit, I know. But you're here reading Reddit, right? I lazily flick the last watched video away. A cat wearing a helmet fashioned out of a melon, and a live feed takes its place. It's dark, with torches or headlamps making almost a strobing effect in some crusty old building. Ghost hunters or something like that. Not my thing. I raise my finger to scroll again, but at the last second, something catches my eye that stops me dead. The camera pans past a black and white framed photograph on the wall. It's my grandparents on their wedding day. I sit stock still, watching intently as the camera moves forward. I would recognize that photo anywhere, having examined it countless times as a child visiting their farmhouse. It was my favorite picture out of any hanging on their wall. This TikToker couldn't be in my grandparents' old farm, surely. It was true, it had been left to fall into a state of disrepair after their passing. I look at their handle, Abandoned Explorer 305. I make a mental note to click on their page and see where else they have been, but for now cannot bring myself to look away from this feed in case it disappears forever. They move further into the living room. A leather armchair, well worn in its day, but now the cushions were sunken in and the fabric torn beyond repair. The fireplace, exposed stone, and an enormous oak mantel, once the impressive focal point of the room, now warped and cracked. The lucky horseshoes that had hung from it litter the hearth, dull and lifeless. They had always been pride of place over the fire, polished and would glint in the firelight of an evening. The person holding the camera is speaking. I'd hardly noticed as I was so wrapped up in a cloud of nostalgia and outrage at the space being invaded. "There's so many horseshoes around here," he was saying. "They're over door thresholds, there was one laid into the kitchen floor, and these ones look like they used to hang over the fireplace. Now I know this is a farm and they probably did have horses, but they are just everywhere. Now everyone knows horseshoes are known as a good luck charm, but unless you're into your folklore, you might not know they also ward off evil spirits." I roll my eyes. Common knowledge. Another TikToker claiming to be an expert on the paranormal. His observation does set off a small prickle on the back of my neck, though. There were a lot of horseshoes at the farm. I tucked that bit of knowledge away for future reference. Many years ago, they had horses, but since the advent of modern tractors and farming methods, they were not needed, and neither Granny nor Grandpa had any great love for horses that I was aware of. Granny had always been a tad superstitious, though. Horseshoes, lucky heather, four-leaf clovers, that sort of thing. For the most part, I loved going to stay at Granny and Grandpa's when I was small. Apart from going to the bathroom alone, the only bathroom was upstairs, at the furthest end of the house from the kitchen or living room. To a kid, it felt like an epic journey. Going up wasn't so bad. Once the door from the living room shut, you would find yourself in the cool, quiet passageway, all sounds of life muffled by the thick wood. The air was so still you could hear a pin drop. You'd walk along, then turn back 180 degrees to go up the stairs. The upstairs landing was split on 2 levels, so you'd step down onto the back landing, then take a right to get to the bathroom. It was going back down that was the problem. Since I was old enough to go to the bathroom unaccompanied, once I turned that corner and got to the top of the stairs, a feeling would hit, like an icy finger on the small of your back. Run. I would run down the stairs and back to the kitchen as quickly as my little legs could carry me. More than that, it was imperative that at no point did I turn back and look back up at that landing. Bad things would happen if I looked back. As a child, I couldn't really express these feelings, but now as I remember it, it felt like a creeping black mass seeping out of the walls of that back landing, coalescing, and all it would take to give it a corporeal form would be a terrified look back from a fleeing child. Then I would heave open the wooden door, and it felt like all the color suddenly seeped back into the world, the warmth and noise of a busy family home flooding my senses, like pressing play and the film restarts where it left off. In the live camera feed, they approached the solid oak door. It's hanging on one hinge, slightly ajar, swaying almost imperceptibly. I noticed before the cameraman says aloud that there's a large cast iron horseshoe, big enough for a Shire horse or a Clydesdale, nailed above the threshold that I don't remember, but it suddenly feels important. Like a talisman thrown up in a last-ditch effort to stop something. I gripped my phone harder with a clammy hand, positive that they should not go deeper into the bowels of this house. I look at the comments flashing up. It's so scary, seriously bad vibes. Did anyone else just see a shadow? With a shaky hand, I start typing a comment, telling them not to go in there, to just leave. As if they will listen to me, just another voice in the throng. In my peripheral vision as I'm typing, I can see the guy push open the door, which gives way with a creak, and just as I'm about to press send, I hear his sharp intake of breath. "What the?" I hear him whisper. I drop my phone onto the bed in shock. Standing side by side in the passageway are 2 gaunt figures dressed in nightgowns. They wear preternaturally wide grins which stretch their papery gray skin taut. Where their eyes belong are only dark pits, what could be boreholes straight into the inky depths of hell itself. Somehow worse than that, Granny and Grandpa were holding hands. It was unmistakably them despite the demonic manifestation. Though it's only a second, it feels like I stare into those twisted faces for half an eternity. All hell breaks loose on camera. Abandoned Explorer 305 turns on his heels and runs back the way he came. The camera work falls into disarray as he bolts for the exit, but I swear in the fraction of the second as his phone whips around, the creepily wide grins on their faces twists into a grisly snarl. I am transfixed by my phone screen. Listen to the TikTok guy's heavy breathing and watch the torch flit around on screen, lighting up walls and floors at random as he makes a break for it. He closed the back door as long as he doesn't turn. He's close to the back door as long as he doesn't turn the wrong way. 5 or 6 more paces and he'll be out. Then shockingly loud on the little phone speakers is an ungodly screech which makes me jump about a foot off my bed. Live has just ended. The feed has just gone. I tap the screen futilely. Nothing. Did he make it out? I search for his handle on the app and nothing comes up. I sit for a long time just staring into space, heart thumping. I should have commented sooner. As soon as I realized they were in that house, maybe that would have stopped them from going any further. A notification pops up on my phone. A direct message on TikTok. Strangely, there's no account name with the message. Come to us. Very direct, no ambiguity there. I sigh and reach for a notebook from my bedside table to cross the latest attempt off the list. Communication with the undead via the internet is a new development. An extra deep grave didn't do the trick. Rocks in their mouths, black salt, holy water from lords, a stake through the heart. Nothing keeps these two restless souls in their grave for long. We don't know if it's the land itself, a curse upon the family, or something else. Did they see the black thing I was so afraid of as a kid? Was that the reason or a symptom? I glanced down the list of things yet to try. Next up, decapitation of the corpses. I don't relish the thought of that one. I fire off a quick text my brother. Trouble at the mill. That's the code. Code for get your shovel. We're off to dig up our old granny and grandpa again to see if we can finally get them to rest in peace like you're supposed to. The problem is, each time we try to end this and fail, every time they come back, there are more. They changed than before. The last time they climbed out of that grave, they looked like themselves, only dead. Upsetting, but to be expected. The nightmarish figures I have seen tonight were a world away from that. I worry we are giving them power, feeding them somehow. But we can't just let them roam free, especially when other people get caught in the crossfire. I think this is going to require some outside help. What just happened? No, the shift was off. No, I don't know. I don't know about this one, guys. I don't like the ending. I don't like the ending. But the overall story was really interesting. The idea of like people exploring haunted buildings. What is that, Ghostbustery? This turned into an anime? Bad ending? I know, the ending was just not it. But the rest of it was pretty interesting. It was like getting interesting and kind of like creepy. Like the anticipation was okay, but like the ending was a little like I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the rating on this one? What's the verdict, chat? What is the verdict, chat? I need to drink more water. I need to be drinking more water when I do stuff like this. Man. I didn't think I'd catch the stream. No worries, Popo. I'm glad you can make it, though. Nade. Hazel, thank you for the head pats. Thank you. I love head pats. Please head pat me often. I like head pats. Felt like a cutoff in the end. Yeah, I don't know about this one. It seems pretty popular, but I'm a little bit like... I think the end could... Maybe it's how I read it. Maybe I didn't do a good job reading it. But I still feel like the way he was reacting up until this point just didn't match up. Because, like, he was scared and surprised, but then at the end he's like, yeah, it's like same old. But, like, how do you go from one to the other like that? Oof, out of youch for me. I feel like 4 out of 10 kind of fall off at the end. Shifting kind of weird. That's what I felt. I wondered if... That's why, like, I didn't even catch the shift. Usually, so... You guys know, I told you guys last time, when you read aloud, this is like a tip for reading aloud. If you ever have to read aloud in class or at work or something, you should always, or for those of you who play music might understand this, like if you sight read, but you should be reading ahead, right? So I'm usually like a few words ahead of where I'm actually saying out loud. So usually I know that I'm changing my tone or like I'm sounding a certain way before I get there, right? But this time I was startled by the turn because I just did not expect it at all. I didn't even see it while reading. This part was weird. I sighed reaching for a notebook. I was like, wait, what? When I was reading that? So I was so confused. I think the turn was too confusing. I think that there needs to be a little more setup for that. Like, if it was longer and they show like a few different incidents where the first one is surprise and then the later one is less surprise. Yeah, I was confused. Lena, plead. Do you want pat, Lena? I pat. What's up? You could science this a bit. If you relocate the bodies, do their ghosts follow them, or do they always still appear at the farmhouse? I'm also surprised you haven't tried burning them alive and scattering the ashes. There's like suggestions on how to get rid of them. Are your parents around to provide any background? Are you sure your grandparents' bodies aren't just a red herring to keep you and your brother busy, as well provide the actual entity with energy and entertainment? Yeah, I wonder if the bodies matter. So people are really focused on like the way they're dying and how they're coming, like the ending. But I'm like still focused on this startle transition that I can't get over. I can't get over the transition, but it was still interesting. I think the idea was still really interesting. Yeah. Should we move on to another one? Move on to another one? I do like these scary. Okay, no, I don't think I'm gonna sleep tonight. I think I'm gonna have a problem sleeping tonight. I think if you guys hear me, like see me tweet tomorrow that I pulled an all-nighter, yeah. So, yeah. That's what happened. That's what it is. Okay, let's read the next one. Okay, what happened? I had to take a call. It's okay, Wrath. You just dead grandparents rising from the dead. No biggie. Yeah, the shift from my grandparents are oof from we do this on a regular basis. Just yeah, it was a little tough, but yeah, still an interesting read though. I hope the background music relaxes you all. I hope you are feeling relaxed from the background music that is not in fact scary. I tried to find scary music, but I did not in fact find scary music. Lena, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, is that a doggy with the bone? Is that for me? Is that for me? Ah la 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 la. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love doggies with gifts. I love gifts. Thank you. Thank you. I love a good little surprise. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, Lena. Thank you. Yummy. I will take the bone. Is that because we're reading horror that I get a bone? Thank you so much. Okay. Whew. Are we ready? Are you ready for the next one? Next one? There's a BGM. Is it super? You guys don't hear it? Oh, yo. It's like so quiet you can't even hear it. There was a BGM the whole time. There was a BGM the whole time. Does nobody just not hear it? You guys just not hear it? Okay. I'll keep it around this level. I wanted to keep it low so that it like doesn't interfere with the kind of story we're reading. But yeah, see, it's like very It's a little bit random. Oh man, I did it on shuffle. That's why. There was a good one playing earlier. Maybe waiting room? Nope. Yeah, it's like I don't know if it fits. What beat? Can you hear it though? Can you guys not hear the BGM? Okay, stop. Wait, hold on. The story. Stop reading. No, don't read. Unread. No. Stop reading. No reading. We read together. We do this together. What sounds like a good, like, scary-ish back one? Suburban. That's scary enough. A passion for glory. No one's hero. I'm using stream beats. I use stream beats. Oh, Into the Void. I do like this one. Let's use this. Let's just have this on loop for a bit. Yeah, this one sounds good. I like Into the Void. Okay, Into the Void it is. Can you hear it? Is it in the way? Should I turn it lower? I had background music the whole time and nobody heard it. Sag. Big Sag. Okay. You might be hearing things from no! Stop, Lawrence! Guys, no! Don't prank me like this. Don't prank me like this. Okay, let's read the next one. Let me know if the music is in the way and I'll move it so that I'll turn it down. Somebody has been leaving notes around my house. They're starting to freak me out. They started innocently enough. Don't forget your keys, read the first message, scrawled on a sticky note in loopy letters. It had been left on my fridge door. It immediately grabbed my attention because at the time I lived alone. I had no memory of writing it, and the handwriting didn't match mine or anyone I knew. I was slightly perturbed, but wasn't sure how to react. In the end, I just tossed the note and went to work. The second note came a few days later, left on my kitchen counter. The sticky note was pink this time, but still had the same distinctive, loopy handwriting. Make sure to pack a lunch today. Again, I was unsettled. Now, any normal person might have reported this to the police, but during that time I was going through a major depressive spell. I had moved to a new city away from my friends and family, and had started a new job that I quickly realized I hated and didn't nearly pay enough. Home was lonely and work was soul-crushing. I had trouble enough getting out of bed each morning, let alone filing a report that I'm sure the police would not take seriously. Even more stressed, I crumpled up the note. However, I ended up packing a small lunch for myself. Usually I didn't bother to put in the effort and just ate cafeteria food, but against my better judgment, I fulfilled the wishes on the note. That day, the cafeteria was closed. The main cafeteria fridge had broken overnight and many of the frozen lunches inside had gone bad. Management thought it would be better to shut it down for the day. A feeling of unease settled in my stomach after learning the news. It was as if the note had predicted it. The notes continued throughout the following weeks. They would typically show up on random days, no more than 3 notes to a day. They were all left in obvious places in my apartment, all on sticky notes and in that unfamiliar, loopy handwriting. They began to grow more prophetic. Take I-80 today. There will be a bad accident on your way home. Janet is going to offer you some cookies at the office. Politely decline. They will give you food poisoning. Marie has been on a diet. Compliment her on her weight loss. She'll end up thinking well of you. Of course, I tested the notes to see if they were accurate. Every time I ignored their advice, whatever it warned against came true. One day, a note said to pack an umbrella, and I purposely didn't. It was forecasted to be sunny that day, so any normal person wouldn't think to pack one. But sure enough, I got soaked that evening walking to my car. I was incredibly curious about the notes. There were so many questions I had about them, and those unanswered questions kept festering in my head. I tried writing notes back in return and leaving them out, but never got a response. I'd speak out loud and ask questions as if, or in case, the note writer could somehow hear me, but this only made me feel foolish. I'd occasionally make a surprise visit home at odd hours, just to see if I could catch the note writer leaving their notes. Of course, I never caught them. I tried installing cameras in my apartment, even making sure all the cameras were completely hidden, but the next day I found every single one of the cameras' insides completely torn out and placed on the kitchen table with a single note next to them reading, "Never do that again." The notes stopped coming after that, which made me deeply regretful. I had grown accustomed to the notes. I had begun to rely on them even. They had significantly improved my way of life over the last few months, both mentally, financially, and socially. I had actually started making friends at the office thanks to their advice, and for the first time in my life, I was even a bit popular. My managers, who before the notes didn't pay much interest in me, now valued my presence and would ask for my opinion on projects. It was no secret I was on my way to a promotion. Could I still do that without the notes? I also valued the notes as a friend, as weird as that sounds, or more like a guardian angel. Wherever they were from, they were always protecting me. Without them, the future was suddenly unknown, dangerous. Every time some mild annoyance popped up from that point, from bad traffic to stressful work situations and even a minor paper cut, I thought about how this all probably could have been avoided if I still had the notes. The next week, a bright green sticky note appeared on my bathroom mirror. "Don't forget to call Mom today. It is her birthday." I nearly cried. I decided to sack my investigation and just accept things as they were. Slowly, the fog of my depressive spell began to lift, and I could feel myself returning to how I used to be. My confidence rose, and for the first time in a while, I felt in equilibrium with my life. I went out, cracked jokes, and even managed to clean up my apartment. I also managed to get a girlfriend somehow. Her name was Amanda. I met her at a pub when I was out with my buddies. The best part of all this is that for some reason, she seemed to actually be into me. She was gorgeous, way out of my league really, with long auburn hair that reached down to her back with soft brown eyes. Her laugh was lovely, and the lemon-scented perfume she liked to wear was intoxicating. She was about the type of girl you could chat with for hours and never run out of things to talk about. The relationship was still new, so I was trying not to plan our whole future together in my head, but she was so lovable it was hard not to. At some point, I briefly thought about telling her about the notes. I've always wanted to tell someone about it, but never really had anyone to tell up until now. I decided not to, however, afraid she might think I was crazy. There was no point so early in the relationship making her think I was a loon. Plus, I was afraid the notes might stop again. If whoever was leaving them clearly didn't want me looking into them, how would they react if I shared what was happening with somebody? So at that moment, I kept it to myself. Amanda had a hobby of cooking and had invited me to her house on Saturday for, in her words, the best fucking spaghetti you'll ever eat. I was pumped since this was the first time I would actually visit her house. I was in a good mood that evening as I was getting ready for the date. I hummed to myself happily thinking about how lovely this was going to be and went downstairs to grab my keys. On the kitchen counter was a new hot pink sticky note. I picked it up instinctively. Kill your girlfriend. My brain stopped for a moment. I read it once, twice, a third time, the words flashing in my brain but hitting an error every time. I set the note down and gulped, feeling nauseous. Anxiously, I went to my car and started driving. I tried not to think about the note, but the words kept circling in my mind. Kill your girlfriend? The notes have never failed me before, and they were always in my best interest as far as I knew, which was admittedly not much. But maybe they were wrong this time? Maybe it wasn't meant to be taken literally? Kill could be a synonym for break up, right? My mind kept trying to make up poor excuses the whole way there. By the time I arrived, I was a sweaty mess and not a lick calmer. I pulled down my sun visor to check my face, and a bright green sticky note fluttered out. I went cold. The notes had never appeared outside my house before. Hand shaking, I picked up the note and read it. Kill Amanda. Take the gun from your glove box and shoot her. I looked at my glove box, wide-eyed. I did indeed keep a handgun in my glove box for safety purposes. I wanted to puke, to believe this wasn't happening. Again, I ignored the note and walked up to Amanda's house, trying to shake the message from my mind. She answered the door almost immediately after I rang the bell. Hey, what's up? She said with a big smile, but when she saw my face, the smile dropped. You okay, Gary? What's wrong? She said in concern. Nothing, I lied, trying to force a smile. Well, actually, I think I have a bit of a stomach ache. Come in, she said, ushering me in. The inside of her house was cute and homely, and she fretted over me worriedly as she led me over to her kitchen table. She then took my hand and rubbed it comfortingly. If you're not feeling up to the spaghetti, we can always have it another time. Don't worry about it. Do you want any antacids or something? I smiled. The way she was so concerned for me over a simple stomachache made me fall in love with her all over again. My heart panged with both love and guilt. The aroma of cooked spaghetti was also extremely strong, and even though she said it was fine, I knew it would probably be a bummer for her to pack away all that spaghetti after just making it. I'm fine, sweetie. I probably have a stomachache because I haven't eaten much today. I was looking forward so much for your spaghetti. Her smile returned again. I always loved how fast she smiled at things. Well then, Mr. Hungry, let me grab you a bowl. She left for the kitchen. I reclined back inside, sticking my hands in my pocket. I felt a crinkle of paper. Shit. I pulled the paper out of my right pocket. Take your chair and bash her head in. I had a hard time controlling my breathing as I stuffed the note back in my right pocket. I also felt paper in my left pocket, and again my mind screaming for me not to. I pulled it out, realizing that it was actually 2 notes crinkled together. Shakily, I unwrinkled the first note. Do not eat the spaghetti. Drugged. What's that, Gary? Asked Amanda behind me. I nearly jumped out of my skin. I stuffed the note back in my left pocket. Oh, just some note from work. I forgot it was in my pocket is all. I said in a weird voice. She frowned, looked like she wanted to say something, but then thought better of it. Here, babe, she said gently, handing me a bowl of spaghetti. It looked heavenly. I wanted to puke. She sat next to me with her own bowl. She rested her head in her hands and looked at me excitedly, expectantly. I stared at her blankly. Well, take a bite, silly, she said, gesturing towards my bowl. I'm so sorry. I really need to use your bathroom. I jumped up and started looking for her bathroom. She jumped up after me, looking confused. Gary, what's wrong? You've been acting weird. When I found the right door, I went in and locked the door behind me. She kept knocking and knocking. Gary, seriously, what's wrong with you? Is the stomachache that bad? Talk to me, Gary, please. I backed up against the bathroom wall, then sank down to the floor. I pulled the 2 notes from my left pocket again, this time reading the second note. My heart sank. She is not Amanda. Okay. Guys. Okay, I don't know. That was actually, sus, bruh? That was chilly, was it chilly, bro? Jelly boy, yo? No, I don't know. Rules of Horror Vibe, love it. 7.5 out of 10. Spoopy. The note was the true friend. Very good story. Okay. But I'm so confused. When did it suddenly become not Amanda and who is it? Like, I don't. This is scary. This is so good. It was scary. Oh, I really like this. Very good story. 9 out of 10. Was my performance? I don't think so, bro. It was an Among Us reference. Was it? Imposter. I'm going out for a minute. See ya, Kai. It's nice. Oh, yeah, I really like this one. That was, Okay, wait. But this stuff, I wish Amanda wasn't such a common name and that I didn't know somebody named Amanda, but I know someone named Amanda. No. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. This is fine. Maybe the part where Amanda went to the kitchen or something, I guess. But remember, the notes were warning him not to eat it, where the notes were warning him to kill her even before. Oh, wait, that's why it said kill her instead of just break up with her or something, because it's not just that she's trying to drug him, but it's that she's an imposter. Okay, wait. Something carbon monoxide, good luck. Oh boy. Oh, the never to that again note freaked me out way more than she's not Amanda note for some weird reason. That is true. The never do that again note kind of creeped me out. Didn't your mama ever tell you not to trust anyone that brags about spaghetti? Reminds me of the time a Redditor posted that he was getting notes like this. It turns out he was giving them to himself and it was on his brain's way to warn him of the CO poisoning in his apartment. Yo, that's wild. Oof. You are not Gary. No. It reminds me of, I don't know, there's this one story where a guy forgets, what is it? He forgets everything every 3 minutes, and so he writes a lot of sticky notes to himself. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Now I want some spaghetti even though I have steak in the fridge. Ooh, I remember that post. Oh yeah, remember that post? I didn't read that post. That's scary, bro. It's like your brain's way of telling you that you need to get yourself help. That's scary though. That's like, you remember that movie? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like where the guy forgets every 3 minutes, so he leaves himself notes everywhere. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I saw that movie or a friend told me about that movie, or I don't know where I heard that one, but I remember hearing about that movie and it wilds me out. Okay. Yeah, this is good. What's the rating? What's the verdict? 9 out of 10. Lauren says 9 out of 10. Cyril says 9 out of 10. Very good story. Okay, cool. Shabir, what's your rating? Arcs, 7.5 out of 10. Rules of Horror Vibe. Okay, cool. Okay, you guys are liking this one. Bro, we gotta, by the way, guys, this is my good friend Shabir. He's one of my closest friends. Check him out. He's super awesome. Love him and his brother. They're my honorary siblings. Yeah. Manuel, thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, Ro, how's your day going? My day is going well, and now I think my day will continue to go because I cannot sleep after this. I think that is what will happen. But yes, 9 out of 10, you made it 10 out of 10. Aww. Shabir, are you saying I was only 1 out of 10? Okay. I see how it is. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, bro. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I think that all of them have been pretty scary and really different vibes, so I'm kind of glad. Looks like I won't be able to finish the stream. Gotta go to work later. No worries, Lawrence. You can catch if you still want to hear some scary stories. We only have a couple more. They're short. We only have a couple more, so we'll finish them up now. Buggy, hey Buggy, how are you? 7 out of 10. The whole concept of the note knowing everything just scary. I completely agree. The note was wild. The note, like the idea with the note was perfect. Blue Ro is no longer able to take out the trash and now eat spaghetti. Luckily, I don't have to throw my trash in a trash chute. I'm too old school and not wealthy enough to live in a building that has a trash chute. I'm not that cool. Okay. Next story. Ready? Ooh. Okay. Yep, this is a good length. Okay. For those of you in school, I apologize in advance. We've been locked in our classroom for days and our teacher is starting to act very strange. Day 1. We had just opened our textbooks to chapter 8 when the alarms blared overhead. A red strobing light spun by the door as metal slats slid down the wall to seal us in. The others start to stir in panic at their desks. Now, class, I'm sure everything is fine. Probably just a drill. Mr. Jonas held up his hands in an attempt to soothe the crowd. Just as he was about to open his mouth, Evie came over the intercom. Level 3 contagion located in the south quadrant of campus. Lockdown protocol is now in effect. Isolation protocol is now in effect. Oh no. The teacher suddenly looked pale and a little panicked himself. Day 3. I slid my rook across the tile chessboard to overtake Patricia's bishop. She stuck out her tongue in defiance as I removed it from the board. I smirked and then shoved another saltine cracker in my mouth. Mr. Jonas said we shouldn't be in here much longer. It was probably just taking the CDC a while to quarantine and eradicate the contagion. He said it must be a pretty nasty virus if they are keeping us locked in our classrooms. We have enough snacks for another day or so. It's been difficult to ration properly when all you have are crackers, candy, and canned spray cheese. Overall, though, we were keeping our hopes up, which was all we could really do. Stay positive for now. Day 5. The room was starting to smell foul. We designated some buckets in the corner as the bathrooms, and they were about half full and beyond putrid. We ran out of food last night. My stomach rumbled with hunger, but I did my best to ignore it. I didn't feel like playing chess or reading anymore. Instead, I just napped at my desk as much as possible to pass the time. I was hoping at any moment I'd be awoken to the doors opening so that I could go home. I missed my parents. Mr. Jonas was losing his composure too. He'd been pretty put together up to this point and ensuring we were all calm. But his eyes looked a little wild now, and he kept pacing the room talking to himself. A few times I heard him cursing under his breath and then reciting prayers. I really hope we get out of here soon. Day 8. Bang, bang, bang. A pounding sound coming from the other side of the classroom pulled me from my dreams. Bang, bang, bang. I stayed still to appear asleep, but cracked my eyes just enough to watch as the biology teacher smashed a chair against the steel door over and over again. Bang, bang, bang. He was really losing it. "Let us out of here!" Mr. Jonas screamed as he tossed the chair to the side. "I cannot do that, sir. A level 3 contagion has been detected. I have sealed off the affected area, but you must stay isolated for your safety," the robotic voice hummed over the speakers. He screeched profanities at the camera in the corner of the ceiling. Some of the other boys were becoming aggressive as well. There had been some fights the last couple of mornings. Also, some hands going where they shouldn't be going, back behind the fake plants and lab equipment. It seemed as if we were slowly devolving, becoming an enclosure of chimpanzees like one you'd see at the zoo, but only hungrier. We needed out, or something terrible was going to happen. Day 10. We'd been on a diet of tap water for the past 5 days. I felt dizzy every time I stood from my desk. The room was spin, and I'd almost black out. I kept footing by sheer force of willpower. I had this irrational fear that if I passed out, I'd be eaten by my classmates like a pack of hyenas on a gazelle, feasting on my intestines as they spilled across the tiled floor. It sounded crazy if I said it out loud, but when I looked around the classroom and saw all the hungry faces, I didn't think the idea was too far-fetched after all. Mr. Jonas hasn't said a word in over 12 hours. He's just been sitting at his desk, carving something into the surface of it with an X-Acto knife. For the first time today, I had the thought that maybe we weren't going to make it out of this. Maybe we were all going to die in this classroom. I hung my head and cried. Day 13. Mr. Jonas, stop! Micah cried. "Don't you see? We have to do this. We need food. It's survival 101. When the pack is suffering and food is scarce, they turn on their weakest member. It's simply biology. Survival of the fittest." Mr. Jonas had his hands around Trevor's neck, squeezing so hard the boy's eyes were about to pop from his skull. Trevor struggled beneath him, but he was frail and terribly small for his age. Micah grabbed a large beaker from the table and lifted it high over his head. "Mr. Jonas, stop now! Don't make me do this!" But the teacher was long gone. His eyes gleamed with delight as drool dripped from his chin from salivating at the thought of a meal. I jumped to my feet as Micah brought the beaker down as hard as he could onto Mr. Jonas's head. It shattered to pieces on impact, knocking the teacher out cold. I helped Micah push him off Trevor. The poor kid was wheezing and gasping for air as tears streamed down his face. "You're all right. It's okay. You're all right." Micah patted the kid on the back, trying to calm him as he wailed. Suddenly, there was a scream like a war cry, and Mr. Jonas was airborne. He leaped across a desk and plowed into Micah. They both went sprawling across the tile. Micah resisted him, but Mr. Jonas ended up on top and began dropping his elbows viciously on Micah's face, causing blood to spew from his nose and mouth. Static filled my mind. I didn't think, I only reacted. I reached down and picked up a hunk of glass from the broken beaker, grabbed Mr. Jonas's shaggy hair, and pulled it back to extend his neck. I pulled the glass through the meat of his throat as hard as I could. I'd never seen so much blood before. It poured in a waterfall across Micah's chest. Mr. Jonas fell to the side once more, this time never to get up again. I stared at my blood-soaked hands. I felt nothing. No remorse, no fear, only static. Suddenly, the metal slats retracted into the ceiling and the door swung open. Lockdown protocol has been lifted. Please continue with your regular schedules. Lockdown protocol has been lifted. Her cheery robotic voice seemed so distant and out of place now. The other students gathered around me, just staring at the pool of blood. I think it was the hunger talking, but a part of me wanted to know what it tasted like. I think the others did too. Thankfully, before that could happen, a man in a suit strolled into the classroom. "Hello, class." His perfect teeth gleamed under the LEDs. Before we could say anything, a team of adults in overalls poured into the room. Some began taking pictures of everything. Others started cleaning up Mr. Jonas. One man with gray hair dropped a large box on the teacher's desk and opened it. He then started throwing fresh fruit and granola bars to each of the students. We devoured everything he gave us. I started to feel more like myself after 2 bananas and 4 granola bars. They tasted like heaven, a sweet salvation. The first man with the nice teeth and the expensive suit waited until we were all done before he addressed us again. "I know it's been a long 13 days, guys. I appreciate you all hanging in there. I've alerted each of your parents that you've been cleared to go home." The classroom erupted into cheers as we all hugged each other. Even Micah, covered in gore, danced around excitedly. "You'll all be able to go home soon. But first, I just need to do a little debrief with each of you before you go. I'm going to set up in the counselor's office, and Mr. Moses here is going to bring you down one by one to give your account on what happened here during isolation." We all nodded our heads in agreement. Anything to get out of here. Mr. Moses, the man with the gray hair and the snacks, took us down one by one, and we spilled our guts to the man with the nice teeth. When I gave my story on what it was like, I still felt numb. Even when describing how I'd killed Mr. Jonas, I just felt nothing. It wasn't until I'd gotten home that evening that I broke down and wept. Once I was in my mother's arms, I cried and cried until I couldn't anymore. Then I ate more food than I ever had. I shoveled pasta down my throat until I thought my stomach would burst. It was a good feeling to be full, to be human again. Years later, when I was at university, a whistleblower had leaked that what we'd endured at the school was a government cover-up for a top-secret experiment. There had been no virus, no contagion. It had been as an experiment to test the artificial intelligence system they had at the school. But then it morphed into a social experiment to see how long we would last before someone was murdered or severely harmed. To test the boundaries of civility and moral character under immense pressure. Just in case there was a real issue with the code in the AI and the scenario became a reality somewhere else. When I'd killed Mr. Jonas, it had ended the experiment. The news had made me sick to my stomach. I was angry and disgusted for weeks. I was okay with it now, though. You see, Trevor may have been small, the weakest member of the Pride perhaps, but he was also a genius. With his hacking expertise, we were able to locate Mr. Nice Teeth and Mr. Moses. It's been 6 days so far, and every time they scream and hit the door with a chair, I can't help but smile. It's a little experiment a few of us are conducting. It'll end when someone is murdered or severely injured. Maybe. Okay. What? For a second, I thought this was like, what was it? Battle Royale-esque story. But man, that twist ending, the twist ending. Guess I'm jaded with her. What are you jaded about? What are you jaded about? Kai, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm back with a chocolate cake for cake everyone love. Do I get chocolate cake too? Can I confiscate everybody else's chocolate cake just for me? My chocolate cake? Not yours, mine. My chocolate cake. Manal, I like horror stories that involve the Wendigo. What's the Wendigo? What's that? And thank you for the super chat again, Manuel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Gives me Fallout vibes. Diary. Yeah, diary setting. But what's that one? Outlander? No, not Outlander. What's that one story that's like... Do you guys know what... It's like a young adult novel. And it's shared all through like notes, like case file notes. I'm not sure. It sounds very familiar. Post-apocalyptic setting. Geez, some violence going on here. See ya, Jury. Thank you for dropping by. Sleep well. Have a good day. I hope you get rest. How is killing the teacher a social experiment? I think it's not killing the teacher exactly, but seeing how long they can survive before someone is killed. Wither, I felt nothing. Opie got the Battle Royale victory. Poplu, murder bad. This is true. Please do not do that. Please, guys. Please do not. If you want it, then you'll have to take it. I'll take it. It's mine now. You want to hear a horror story? Where I come in the night, quietly sneak into your house and steal all your choco. That's what it is. Yeah, that's a true horror story. This one was interesting. I say deserve sweet revenge. Whoa. Remember the Wilds or Battle Royale? Oh, someone else said it was a side dish of revenge. Whatever they do, data they wanted from this experiment is much good with such a small sample size. I wonder if they ran it on the whole school though. But what if like they ran it on the whole school and then like each classroom had to get out of it? It's kind of sad, not horror for me. I completely agree, Arx. I don't, especially this is kind of scary. This is really scary. I don't like stories like this. This is kind of scary, but it was still an interesting read. It was very Battle Royale-esque. But it's very scary to me. I can, there, you know, back in like the olden days, before there was a committee. So now, if you're a scientist who's running an experiment with human subjects, you have to get cleared. You have to like pass an ethics committee. I don't remember the exact details of it, but you have to pass an ethics committee. Someone in the chat who actually knows can tell me. But you have to pass an ethics committee to ensure that the results from I don't remember exactly, but I think it was something like the results from the experiment justify the psychological harm that could happen to the people in your experiment. Or it could even be that there's certain things they just won't let you experiment on humans with. So that is why, you know, there's a lot of like experimentation on other sentient creatures like animals, right? But yeah, I remember there was a lot of, I learned like in the olden days, they used to run a lot of like torture experiments and stuff on like people because there was no committee like that to prevent it from happening and things could get like out of hand. It's kind of scary to think about. But yeah, the only thing scary about this is that people doing sussy things is behind the lab. Yeah, it's wild. This story is kind of like scary because it feels almost realistic. Actually, I don't know if you guys want to hear. I took a class in like a law class, and we read a lot of cases that had to do with like some really wild things that people have done, like criminal stuff. And yeah, there's people do some scary stuff when taken to taken to kind of that extreme. Yeah, it's like one of the hardest classes where like I remember like I study other stuff in school, but like I remember when I was taking this class, it was really interesting, but I was like, man, this is so scary to read. So scared to read. I could never be like a criminal lawyer or something. Too wild. Okay, the Wendigo is a Native American legend of a shape-shifting cannibal. Oh no, that's so scary. No. Manuel. No, I'm never gonna sleep. I hope it's noisy outside my room. So I can go to bed. No. But thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you again. Eric is like, no. That's long. Yeah, this one was, oh, this is scary. Okay, there's one last one. This one is, oh wait, hold on. No. Maybe we stop here. No, this is super long. Okay, this one's not super long. Okay. I think this one is good. The last one. Okay, this one is there's a Wendigo horror movie? No, I don't watch horror movies. I refuse to watch horror movies. I don't care how many people I'm with, I will not watch a horror movie. Because I will not sleep. Guys, I have, I like forget people's names and stuff, but like, I don't forget things I see very easily. And I don't forget things I hear very easily. Like hear as in like, how do I say it? Like the visceral emotional feeling I get when I remember things. Like I don't forget those easily. And like horror movies bring all of that together for me and I cannot forget them. Like I remember vivid scenes from horror movies. I will not play amnesia sometime. Oh, I'm too scared. No. The Jaeger with it? I love horror movies? No. A Manango? Why does that sound very familiar? Recommend a story row? Next time, Foss. Recommend me one next time. This time we'll do this last one. We have one more story left and then we'll call it good for today's Halloweeny horror stream. We can do more next week. We'll do like the 2-sentence horror next week and we'll do a few more no sleep. Okay. Last story. I hope you guys are all buckled in. We'll take it. We'll enjoy this one. But yeah, keep it in mind, Foss, and drop it in the suggestions in the Discord. What time is it now? It is 11:15 p.m. for me. Last one, we'll wrap up. I was thinking like an hour and a half, 2.5 hours stream, so this works out perfectly. Okay. Every night, my girlfriend wakes me up to tell the exact same joke. Before I start, I feel like I should let something very clear. I absolutely love Ellen. We've been living together for about 3 years now, but have known each other our whole lives. In fact, we were childhood friends, and I know this may sound like a fairy tale to some people, but it truly felt like we were always destined to be together. Even after graduation, when we started dating other people, it only felt truly right when we were with each other. So I don't know what took me so long to ask her out, but I'm really glad I did. We had the same taste in music, movies, and even food. We laugh at the same dumb jokes and know exactly how to comfort each other in times of need. She's the kindest, most gentle, and loving girl I ever met. We even been talking about our plans for marriage and how we would like to have kids of our own. That's why it hurts so much how it all went terribly wrong in just 4 nights. I would also like to preface that Ellen doesn't have much of a family other than me, and some very distant aunts that she never met and doesn't even know their names. I was born in a big family with 4 siblings and plenty of cousins that were always visiting and even helping out when we got in trouble. Ellen has none of that. She doesn't have any siblings, and her father was an alcoholic, abusive freak that died when she was young. Her mother was a very kind and inspiring person that took care of the family by herself for many years, and almost a second mother to myself. So when she passed away last year, it hurt us both for a long time. But Ellen stayed strong. She's not the type to let her feelings easily surface, so you gotta be a lot more perceptive to get what she truly feels. I used to be proud of myself in being capable of that. I felt like I knew her better than I knew myself. That's why this is all so strange and, frankly, terrifying. We were sleeping in bed and I was dreaming. I don't really remember what it was about, but for some reason I'm sure of it. Until I heard her voice very, very close to my ear. Knock, 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 knock. She was caressing my hair gently while sitting in bed and looking below at me. I slowly opened my eyes, groggy from sleep. Hey, what is it, baby? She kept looking at me, fixated, and repeated, knock, 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 knock. I glanced at the digital clock on top of the dresser. 3:27 a.m. I had work in only a few hours. What is it, Ellen? She paused. Please answer the joke, dear. Knock, 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 knock. Fine. I accepted, mostly because I was expecting some kind of surprise. Ellen wasn't the type to do what she was doing for no reason. Who's there? Her smile opened up and she answered, Not me, so don't answer the door. I kept looking at her, dumbfounded. What was that supposed to mean? Is that it? Is that the joke? Yeah, she said, laying in the couch and covering herself with a blanket. Thank you for answering. Weirdo, I answered, closing my eyes and going back to sleep. Next morning, things went as usual. I only remembered the strange conversation while I was alone in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, and wasn't even sure if it had truly happened or if it was just a weird dream. So we had our breakfast together, and she was acting normal, reading something aloud from a fashion magazine. Frankly, I wasn't paying much attention, so I took the opportunity to ask about last night. Initially, she didn't seem to know what I was talking about. Then her eyes fixated on me, and the same smile from last night crossed her face, briefly. And I knew it wasn't just a dream. She told me it wasn't anything of importance and stopped paying attention when I asked more inquisitively. And even though I shouldn't, I gave up. I had work and other matters to attend to and just brushed off the weird event thinking it wouldn't happen again. But the following night, I woke up to her voice. Knock, knock. A pause. Knock. What is it now? I said. Ellen, what are you doing? Knock, 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 she repeated. This time, she wasn't even touching me, just sitting in bed looking at me with that same smile. But her eyes seemed larger, and she blinked in longer intervals. I looked at the clock. Once again, 3:27 a.m. Ellen, come on, what is it? I've got work in a few hours. Can't have the luxury of waking up in the middle of the night to answer knock-knock jokes. Knock, knock, knock. This is getting creepy, you know. I'm not sure if this is some gag you've been doing, but I don't like it. Answer it. Knock, knock, knock. I sighed, but also let a small laugh escape. It was creepy, of course, but she was also my Ellen, so it didn't bother me as much as it should. Fine, who the fuck is there? I answered in a playful tone. Not me, so don't answer the door. For some reason, I felt a chill down in my spine. It was the same answer as before, and I still didn't get what it meant, but the way she said it with a strange, monotone voice contrasted well with her smile and the fact that I had no idea of what she meant by that. What does that mean? I asked. I really don't get it. She just smiled and went back to sleep. I felt a throb in my heart, but did the same. Next day, we talked again about what was happening. She was very evasive with my questions, and I barely got her to say anything. It was almost as if she couldn't talk about it, which was very strange, considering we talk about pretty much everything. I told her I needed to be well rested for work, something she should understand well, and wasn't liking her little gag every night. She just nodded, and I decided not to press further, as I didn't want to hurt her feelings and had work to attend to. When I got back home, we had dinner, watched a movie, and went to bed. Knock, knock. I opened my eyes faster this time around. In fact, I barely got any sleep. I just knew she would do it again and kept thinking about it the whole time. Glanced at the clock. 3:27 a.m. Knock, knock. I thought about ignoring her, just pretending I was asleep and she wouldn't wake me up. So I closed my eyes slowly, hoping that she hadn't seen me opening them in the first place, and stayed quiet. Knock, knock, she continued. She didn't stop. I regulated my breathing, but she kept going. Knock, knock. I'm not answering your fucking joke, Ellen. Stop it. Knock, knock. I ignored, but she kept going. She had never been this insistent with anything before. I tried to ignore it, but it was getting on my nerves, and frankly, I felt scared. Why was Ellen doing this? Why every night, at the exact same time, down to the minute? Why wouldn't she let me sleep until I answered her? Knock, knock. I got up in a sudden movement. God damn it, Ellen! I was ready for a discussion, but when I finally glanced at her, it was as if the strength was drained from me. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't blinking. She's just staring right at me, fixated like an animal, and her mouth was moving slowly, and she didn't stop. Knock, knock. I didn't know how to react or what expression I had when I saw her, but my heart skipped a beat. It was terrifying, as if her gaze froze me in place, a 1,000-yard stare. Knock, knock. Who's there? I asked, feeling as if it was the only way out of that nightmare. Not me, so don't answer the door, she said weakly. Ellen slowly closed her eyes and laid down. I kept staring at her while she fell into what seemed like to be a deep sleep. I got up and left. I walked downstairs and sat down at the couch in the living room, staring at the night sky outside and absorbing the quiet of the neighborhood. My heart was beating fast and it didn't slow down. I was too scared to sleep in the same room as my girlfriend, all because of a fucking knock-knock joke. But it was unnatural. I thought about calling someone. I thought about it all being some kind of sleep-related issue, such as some type of sleepwalking, but it didn't make any sense. I felt so tired and decided that early in the morning I would call an old friend who's a psychologist and get the opinion of a professional. Something was wrong with Ellen. I stayed in the couch as the day rose, and once Ellen woke up, she was acting normal again. Even asked me why I wasn't in bed. I didn't answer. In fact, I didn't speak to her and simply left for work. She seemed very upset, but I wouldn't do anything about it. Once I got to work, I called my friend, told him everything that was happening in as much detail as I'm describing now. He didn't seem as worried as I figured, but we agreed in making an appointment for next week. Now I just needed to convince Ellen to come with me. I received plenty of text messages from her. She seemed very worried, sad, and even confused. She apologized a lot, and it broke my heart a little. I felt bad. I shouldn't have, but I answered her and made her promise it wouldn't happen again. I also told her about the appointment, and she seemed reluctant, but agreed to go with me. So we made up. This was Ellen, after all, the girl I knew ever since I was 6 years old, the woman I loved and that had taken care of me for years. And as much as that strange behavior creeped me out, she wasn't doing anything particularly frightening or even dangerous. So for a brief while, I convinced myself I should give her another chance. When I returned home from work, we stayed together. She even prepared my favorite meal. Ellen was acting as gentle and caring as I always remembered, and I slept with her in our bedroom, even though I was still a bit reluctant. Knock. I couldn't believe it. She promised me she wouldn't. Knock. I gazed at the clock. 3:27 a.m. Always. Knock. I was laying on my stomach and I couldn't see her face. In fact, I didn't even bother to look at her. I was feeling more sad than scared at that point. Sad that she had broken her word. Knock. Who's there? I answered, determined to just go back to sleep. Not me, so don't answer the door. I stayed quiet and closed my eyes. I just hoped I would be able to handle it until the appointment next week. To my surprise, I was actually able to sleep, probably because I hadn't been able to rest since last night. The following morning, I went back to not saying anything to Ellen, only very limited responses. I was expecting her to act the same as yesterday, trying to apologize, but she didn't. Mostly she didn't say anything, almost as if she had accepted it. She also looked tired, or at least a bit weak. I went to work, but I couldn't stop thinking about her. Didn't receive any messages either. Once I got back, we had the most silent dinner I ever had in my life, and she barely ate anything. I decided to let her have the bedroom and sleep on the couch. I wasn't sure if it would stop her, but held on to the hope that she wouldn't go downstairs only to tell me the same knock-knock joke again. I covered myself with a blanket, shaked off that uneasy feeling, and tried to sleep. I had a deep sleep without dreams. Felt like I was lost in darkness. Then I heard breathing. Opening my eyes to see Ellen standing above me, looking at me with big, fixated eyes and dilated pupils that didn't seem to belong in such a completely neutral expression, watching me sleep. I almost screamed in terror, jumped out of the couch, and her eyes followed me as I stumbled through the dark room, creating distance between us. For a moment, I was able to glance at the clock above the table. 3:27 a.m. Ellen, what are you doing? I asked, desperate, but she didn't move. In fact, she didn't say anything, just stared at me as if I was made of glass and she could see right through me. Then I heard a knock on the front door. Instinctively, I looked in that direction. It was followed by another knock, and another, someone almost pounding at the door. I glanced back at Ellen and she was still staring at me. Slowly, I got to the door and she didn't move. The pounding continued. Who's there? I screamed. It stopped, and then I heard a voice. John? John, can you hear me? Open the door, please. John, please open the door. I froze in place. The voice kept calling me, but I couldn't believe it. It was Ellen's voice coming from the other side of the door. But it couldn't be. I beg you, John, open the door. It's serious. She's not me, I swear. She's not me. Slowly, I turned my head to look at Ellen, standing in front of the couch. She was looking at me, the same fixated eyes and a terrible wide grin across her face. The pounding continued. John, open the door! Please, you have to trust me! I stayed still, not knowing what to do, and I don't remember what happened after that. I just woke up in my bedroom. The digital clock indicates it's 4:21 a.m. Ellen isn't by my side. I'm completely alone. I'm trembling uncontrollably and I don't know what's going on. I don't remember what happened after I saw her terrible grin. I don't know if I opened the door. I tried to look for my phone, see if I could call the police or at least someone that I know, but I left it downstairs. All I have is Ellen's laptop, and it's where I'm writing this right now to get advice, because I can't go downstairs. The corridor is dark, very dark, almost as if the shadows were leaning into the room, and I can hear a faint scratching sound coming from below. What should I do? No, this is the scariest. Oh, I'm never gonna sleep. I'm never gonna sleep. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Ellen's joke was not that funny. Popo's like, no. Ellen's joke, 0 out of 10. I can fall asleep to this Manuel, bro male voice. I tried, guys. It's hard for me to sustain a male voice for a really long period of time. I tried. All of these stories are written. A lot of them seem to be written, like, except for the ones that are kind of ambiguous. A lot of these seem to be written from like a guy's perspective. So it's I'm trying to be as close to it as I can be. My natural voice is a lot around here. Like this is around where I talk right here. Usually, like here, a little higher. I can't do more than that. You don't have to worry though. You ain't got an Ellen. There's an Ellen in my school. There's an Ellen in my school. If you say knock, pause, knock, it would be much scarier. Oh, you mean like knock, knock, like that? A scary version of someone getting Pavloved. You know what, Blue? That's exactly what I think. I think it's him getting Pavloved. I think he's getting Pavloved. Oh, geez, I'd be dead. I would be dead too. I wouldn't be able to sleep in that house. I'd be like, goodbye. I'm sorry, goodbye. I think that's why, though, that this author set up the whole story about how long they've known each other, because it's so hard to, like, if it's not someone you know, you just up and out of there, right? You just up and out of there. But if it's, like, someone that you've known for a long time, you trust them so much, like, how would you just up and leave? Like, I couldn't up and leave if, like, my mom or dad was doing this to me, right? Or, like one of my close friends. Like, I wouldn't be able to up and leave like this, right? Like, I would be worried about them and I would like want to make sure everything's okay and I would just be like, oh yeah, I'm just imagining it. But seems classic. Hey bro, it's not me, so don't answer the door. Screw you, Pharaoh. Screw. I hope you stub your toe on a pistachio shell. I don't know why pistachio, but I hope you stub your toe on a Lego, on a crouton, on something. Deserve it. I hope your car takes 3 minutes extra to start, so you're late to work. I hope that's what happens to you. Isn't there that one song that's all about like wishing someone bad? What is it? Oh man, I'm remembering that TikTok song and I can't remember how it goes. Seems classic. When you're dealing with horror trouble, GF will make it double. That's right. Double the trouble because of GF. Knock knock. No, K4, no. Yo, step on Lego is too horrible. No, I don't take it back. What do you say knock knock back at her, crook? I think like though she'll keep saying knock knock until you answer, like who's there, right? Wait. Okay, seems like she was conditioning you to not open the door, but she was acting weird when she started saying that. My theory is that the one outside is the real one who you've been convinced not to trust by the imposter who preemptively tried to make you doubt yourself. Creepy story. Maybe it's her outside. That's terrifying. But could the person in your house be an alternate? The person at your door may have been Ellen trying to get you away. Alternatively, of course, Ellen may have been under the control of another being, and the knock at your door was something far worse. Go to the store, buy Wi-Fi cameras, one for the front door, one for your... He can't leave, though! He can't leave the place, though. One for your bedroom door. You take the bedroom tonight. Keep the cameras recording. Keep the doors locked. If you get a knock on your bedroom door, watch the camera. Look for... No, you should put Wi-Fi cameras and then not sleep in that house. Don't sleep in that house. Go to a different house. Go to your friend's place. Not too bad. I know it's 3 to 4 a.m. is the devil's hour, but I feel he was too hung up on looking at the clock. I think maybe. I think maybe he was like sussed out by it being at the exact same moment every time. To solve the trust issues, listen, this creates ultimate trust issues. I don't think you can recover from these kind of trust issues. Why did the chicken? No. Because it was bored. That's why the chicken crossed the road, because it was bored. It was bored and it wanted to explore the other side of the road. Okay? Me sleep, guys, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I have to call my mom. If my mom, guys, you can't tell her. I hope she doesn't see my channel. She hates horror stories. She hates stuff like that. She thinks that they're bad for society. She's sweet. My mom is super sweet. She thinks that we should consume more positive media. So she'll be like, why don't you read happy stories and educational stories? And I'm over here reading horror stories to chat. My mom will be like, I got it. If I call her, she'll be like, ah. She'll be like, oh dear, why did you read horror stories? I'll be like, because I'm stupid. Because I'm dumb. Because I'm dumb. What? Yeah. What if your mom says, oh my god, if my mom says knock knock, I will end the call. She's an imposter. It's an imposter. My mom I don't even know if my mom knows knock knock jokes. My mom and dad probably don't even know knock knock jokes. They're fairy. They don't know human stuff. They don't know human English jokes like that. Mama Rocchi, Roro can't sleep. Got any choco? No, I just want my mom. I'm scared. Just sing till you fall asleep. There's someone who's gonna continue singing to you when you fall. No! Breakfast! No! Pharaoh? If you just typed what I think you just typed. Sir, what? Eat choco. Yeah, eat choco. Just give your girlfriend choco in bed to keep her mouth busy. If you saw, you saw. If you didn't saw, you didn't saw. Arx, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you again for what just happened? My brain just blanked out. What was I about to say? No, I'm sorry. I was going to say thank you again for the subs. Oh my gosh, my brain. Oh my gosh, what just happened? I had a whole brain just stopped moment. Thank you so much. Good night, Ro. Get yourself some nice chocolate beaver. What's the No! Stop! I can't! No! Args! Mwah! Ah! 怖い。もう怖すぎて寝ないよ、絶対。もう This is so scary. Oh my god. You know what, guys, I legit thought, I was like, instead of watching something scary or playing something scary, we'll read something scary, because that's not going to be as scary. No! I take it back. It's still just as freaking scary. I'm still just as freaking scared. Tonight, Ro will be sleeping on the floor now. No. Don't you know? The bed is safe zone. The bed is safe zone. If you're in the comforters, you're 100% safe. That's how I believe it. Mino, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Are you dumb? I am dumb. I am dumb for doing this stream. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. And I'm going to do it again next week. That is what's going to happen. But thank you so much for being a member, bro. Thank you so much. Guys, Mino's one of my closest friends. So, I'm really happy. Thank you. I know. No, I'm never going to be able to sleep. Well, now it's time to be stuck in your room and not murder someone for 13 days. Listen, guys, I'm I'm just gonna close this. It never happened. We will continue next week. We will do this again next week. Did you guys enjoy this? What do you think? I usually don't ask you guys directly on stream if you enjoyed something we do. But like, I want to know because I want to make sure streams are enjoyable for... I enjoyed reading out loud. It was scary though. I'm scared though. But I want to know, did you guys like this? Should we do more stuff like this in the future? Do another scary one next week? We'll do one that's like 2-sentence horror next time. But we'll do some more variety. But thanks for the idea, Breakfast. But was it Breakfast? Was it you who gave me the idea for the 2-sentence horror? But yeah, we'll do that next time. I'm not gonna be able to sleep because I'll be laughing at how bro won't be able to sleep. Magic, disrespect. Baku was paw. It was really cool. I'm glad. Just listen to Kuma's ASMR she did yesterday. Oh, that's a good idea, guys. If you don't know, my close friend Kuma, my other close friend Kuma, did a debut yesterday. Wait, hold on, my brain's blanking. Was it yesterday? No. Day before yesterday, and then an ASMR stream. Oh my gosh, guys, my brain is dying. It's all because of the horror. Anyway, she debuted, and she did a really non-ASMR, really loud, a really ASMR stream. You can find her channel at the bottom of my channel page, yeah. But you should check her out. Yeah, she's a cool polar bear. Yeah, she's a cool chunky bear. But yes, I was gonna say I can listen to her horror, ASMR and not sleep. That was loads of fun. Scared Rose topped your content. Thank you, Farrah. I'm glad you guys liked it. I was like, I told you guys like my goal is to do new content for the end of the year, and I was just like scrolling Reddit, and I was like, wait, how come I've never incorporated Reddit into my streaming when I like other than like meme stuff, because like I use Reddit so much and there's so much really great stuff on there, and I feel a little bad. Like I'm the kind of person that doesn't like, I try not to use other people's content, but I think I'm trying to adapt it into my own way by reading out loud for you guys and discussing it with you guys. So I hope it's still okay, but yeah, I hope you guys liked it. We'll do more stuff like that. I have some other Reddit ideas that I want to try in the next month or two, so we'll do that. Very cool, good stream. I'm glad. Love horror, so I'll be there for sure. Yes, we'll do it next week for sure. Yeah, I wanted to do some Halloween-y themed stuff leading up, so scary stories and scary content it is. It was fun, I'm glad. When is the singing stream? I haven't decided yet. I will do a singing stream soon for sure. There'll definitely be another singing stream in the next 3 or 4 weeks, but I can't guarantee it'll be this month. It's been a bit busy this month. And for singing streams, you guys know I take singing very seriously, so I practice. I just need a bit more time. But yes, we will have sing-songing soon. Don't worry. I will definitely try to do at least some singing shorts in the meantime. This was more fun than expected. Blue, what was your expectation? How low was it? How much did I exceed your expectations? 2-sentence horrors can sometimes be scarier than a whole story. Yes, it absolutely can. You're absolutely right. But okay, guys, I hope you had fun. We scared? I'm scared. For those of you where it's like you still have the rest of the day ahead, I'm glad for you. I think next time I might do it in the morning so I'm not scared before I sleep, because it's nighttime for me. It's 11:39 p.m. for me. I might not sleep for another 4 or 5 hours. I left you something in DMs. Or okay, Farrah, I'll check it out. Thanks, bro. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Otsurochi desu. Otsukaresama desu. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you all so much for joining. Oh, wait, no, really quick. Actually, wait, no, really quick announcement. For those of you who didn't see on Twitter, tomorrow's stream is moved to next week because I'm going to make some other content. But that aside, I don't have anything else to say. Yes. Otsurochi desu. See you on Sunday for Genshin if you're going to drop by for that. Otherwise, I'll catch you next week. Sleep well. Don't answer the knock-knock jokes.